Fine, I'll look at Brick Slayer 5000. That sounds super stupid, though. It sounds just like a Roblox meme, but I'll take a chance.
You'll see world-class masons battling all day for champion titles.
This looks intense.
Amazing prizes.
What the fuck?
The action takes.
Oh, I can't take anymore. Get me in there. All right, where are we at? Where's 2019 Masonry Madness sizzle?
Kevin Avila.
Is that the Kevin Avila? Said to have laid over 15,000 bricks in only 5 months?
Colorado,
Unrivaled in his efficiency.
Jose Limon.
Oh my god. Jose Limon's come out of retirement for the Masonry Madness 2019 Spec Mix? We're in luck.
Bullseye Masonry,
No.
Juan Perez.
No. Is that the ice cold Perez?
Number 10,
That's an impersonator.
Missouri, Post Masonry, Jake Payne.
Jake Payne's an amateur. He's rookie. Just fresh out of high
Stall
school.
Number 11, Washington, R&D Masonry, Joshua Carney.
Is that two hats on top of each other? The bad boy of masonry? He'll steal your girl and make a brick house around her?
Oklahoma, Providence Masonry, Andy Zepeda.
Andy's just happy to be here today. Just barely made the qualifying for the
Stall
Spec
number
Mix.
13 from Pennsylvania, your returning 2018 Spec Mix
Oh, no.
top craftsman, Michael Weisinger.
Oh my god, it's the Michael. Oh, the mix-em-up madman Michael himself. Returning champ.
Stall number 6 is a beautiful day here in Las Vegas. 50
Bloodbath.
degrees, not a cloud in the
WWE
sky,
Raw
not a
bricklaying.
drop of wind.
Mean setup machine, fellas.
DJ
Woo!
Soul,
Thank you,
Wilson
Ric
Music.
Flair.
Here we go.
And the contestants are off. Last year we already had 5 deaths just from the get-go. This year it seems everyone's still intact. There's the returning champion, Michael. Already beginning construction on the new Twin Towers over here. Oh, Michael is just a monstrously efficient madman. Masonry perfected. Oh my god, we're already beginning with the wood. We're laying the foundation now, baby. We're really fucking cooking.
I am watching ESPN, the Ocho. Good shit.
Alright, don't degrade the masonry. This would not be ESPN the Ocho, this would be prime time. This would replace esports. Especially with Michael leading the charge. Michael's a nice young man and the returning champion. I once saw Michael post 3 Big Chungus memes right next to a stack of bricks. He's just like us. The competition is really fierce now. Thank God we removed the rule where you could bring a loaded firearm to these things. The chaos it caused was just too much. The masonry took the back seat to murder.
Stalls, we'll see how his tender is doing right after this. Don't go
Yeah,
away. The Spec
we'll
Mix
check in on his
Hunter
chicken
will
tenders in a
return
moment.
Live
But-
from Las Vegas.
Far be it from me to question the oldest masonry in the business there, fucking Tim the Toolman Mason Man. If you say that it's not timed, but it's all about how fast you do it, doesn't that inherently mean that it is
We're
timed?
right in the throes of the toughest 10.
Or maybe time doesn't apply to masonry. When you're laying bricks, time no longer applies.
My name
It's
is
like a
Tom
black
Clark.
hole.
I am your this morning with the skills competition. That was at 9 o'clock. Kids are going to be doing that all the way up until noon. Now,
Oh, they're
after
teaching
this
kids to be...
competition, we have got the
That's
best
fucking
crowd
smart.
block, 20 minutes for
The Spec Mix
$8,000.
Toughest Tender, Chicken Tender, Chicken Nuggets, Battle Royale, Masonry Madness is teaching kids to start laying bricks to do the work for them.
15, 20 minutes. We've
That's
got some
smart.
great demos. You do not
That's a really good
want
way
to
of getting
miss
child
that.
laborers
Right now,
excited
turn it
about
over to Jim
crime.
O'Connor. He's gonna give us another
Like, hey, let's
on
make child labor a
tenders.
sport.
Jim, what are you looking
That
at
way
over
they
there?
enjoy it.
How do you
That's
think they're
smart.
doing so
These
far?
tenders, they're key to their bricklayers' success. For all the tenders that are giving it
Yeah!
up, way to go, fellas.
Fuck yeah!
Your brick tongs going.
These are some fat tindies out here, baby.
They're getting ready, but they're doing one hell of a job.
I've never seen bricks being laid before, so I don't know what the fuck's going on, but I'm sure we'll have a building here soon, hopefully.
Let's see what you got.
Thank you, Jimmy.
Thank you, Terry Bradshaw.
I got here early. You look behind
Oh, it's a
you.
sold-out stadium here today in the parking lot of Walmart.
The stands are getting full. And as a matter of
That's a lot of
fact,
people. That's a lot of bricklaying
hanging out
enthusiasts.
with one of the Masons.
Hanging out with Adam White here, and I tell you,
The Adam White?
nailed it.
The man they said invented the chicken tender?
So currently working too hard yet, right, Adam?
Why are you grabbing his chest?
But it might
Hey Adam, we're not really working too hard here as he's tweaking on his nipples.
Mike Ross over here going into it. I mean,
Yeah,
some
so
measurements lined up in your head.
the game plan is as follows. He's gonna put some bricks down with some cement.
We looked over what it
Typically how that plan goes. John Madden style.
Here. Who's this guy?
No! No!
Are you like the veteran?
Is that Jeff
Mason
Gordon?
guy?
No, this is the third generation.
Yeah, I just got bored of building my own houses, so I started teaching kids how to do it. Now they do it. I don't give a fuck.
Wow, that was like.
Yeah, you goddamn right that's a party. Look at that harem of beautiful women. He may have been known for laying bricks down, but now he's known for laying that pipe, you know what I mean?
Interview we've never done before.
Whoa! I thought he was gonna start eating her out.
Do you think masonry is in your future?
Let's see what her vagina has to say about the masonry.
Right. A womb with a view, I believe, is what we have right there. Awesome.
What?
Well, let's hear it for JP.
Woo-hoo-hoo! Womb with a view, baby.
Right here, you know.
What the fuck? They have jets fly over the bricklaying competition? Or is that stock footage? No, it's stock footage.
It doesn't get any better
No
than that,
way.
kids.
This better show me who wins, and it better be Michael. I can't even imagine a building not built by Michael being up to code. God damn, that is a huge crowd. There's more people here than there is at, like, fucking Overwatch Owl League matches. Holy shit.
3 minutes remaining.
Damn, maybe bricklaying's on the come up.
Top craftsman.
Boo.
This guy's first rodeo.
Boo, boo, boo. Where's Michael? Boo. Not Michael. Don't care. Boo. Where's Michael? Michael was like a well-oiled machine of bricklaying. Who are these guys? Nah, it's garbage. Check for performance-enhancing steroids. Check his concrete. Maybe his cement was, like, Gorilla Glued or Flex Seal glue. He cheated. Michael was robbed. I know I've already covered a case similar to this, but this one's even more egregious. A 50-year-old grandmother spent 6 months in the slammer doing hard time because AI tools flagged her as a suspect in a bank fraud case. But it turns out the only fraud here was Jarvis going rogue and for some reason targeting Angela Lips. She spent 6 months behind bars for this. Police in North Dakota, using AI facial recognition technology that they must have found on fucking Temu, flagged her as a suspect in a bank fraud case in North Dakota. Now, Angela Lips is a mother of 3, grandmother of 5, and has lived her entire life in north central Tennessee, roughly 1,000 miles away from where the crime she was accused of committing took place. And yet still, U.S. Marshals showed up at her doorstep last July while babysitting 4 kids and arrested her at gunpoint. The lore goes as follows. There was a woman in North Dakota that was using a fake U.S. Army ID to withdraw tens of thousands of dollars, and then Fargo police were investigating. They ran the surveillance footage through facial recognition software, and it returned a match to Angela Lips. And then, hallelujah, Flesh and Blood came in, but unfortunately he was missing a brain. A detective compared Angela Lips, that was flagged by the facial recognition software, to her Tennessee driver's license and social media images, and concluded she was the perpetrator based on facial features, body type, and hair. Nobody from the department contacted Lips before U.S. Marshals arrested her at gunpoint on July 14th while babysitting those 4 kids. I already know exactly how that detective's thorough analysis went, because we'd actually already seen this before in the last case I covered of AI incorrectly identifying a suspect and leading to an innocent person being arrested. In that last incident, what happened is the authorities were comparing, AI had flagged somebody, and they were comparing driver's license to the picture, and he just basically said, well, alright, if AI says so. There is this blind trust in AI from authorities like this to just do their job for them. So I feel pretty confident that this detective most likely just did the exact same thing, like, alright, AI said it, and AI's never wrong. She's definitely guilty. Let's, sick the Pinkertons on her. Let's get the U.S. Marshals. We'll rappel down. We'll blast through the windows. Maybe let's tear gas that bitch. Let's go hog wild. We already know she's guilty. AI's flagged her. I imagine that's exactly how that went. It is incomprehensible that they acted solely off of AI saying that this is probably that person in the video. They didn't contact her, they didn't question her, they did no actual investigation of this woman before swooping in with the U.S. Marshals holding her at gunpoint in front of the children that she was babysitting. And then it only gets worse from there, because she sat in jail for 108 agonizing days before North Dakota officers collected her, and her attorney, Jay Greenwood, immediately requested her bank records, and Fargo police finally met with Greenwood and Angela on December 19th, 5 months after her arrest, and records showed that she was buying cigarettes and depositing Social Security checks in Tennessee at the time police placed her in Fargo. So she literally could not be the suspect guilty of bank fraud in North Dakota. And they didn't bother to do any investigation or anything at all, clearly, and she had to sit there and stew, marinating in jail for 108 days for doing nothing wrong, literally doing nothing wrong and having no idea why she was there or what the fuck had even, connected her to this crime. The case was eventually dismissed on Christmas Eve, but the damage had already been done. She had no money, no coat, no way home, and subsequently lost her house, her car, and her dog. This fucking ruined her life, and she did nothing wrong. This just goes to show you nobody is safe. Literally, no one is safe. You right now watching this, you at any moment can get flagged by AI systems as a huge criminal, and it seems like police won't even bother to investigate. They'll just take AI's word and come swoop you up at gunpoint, and then you'll sit in jail for 6 months before they'll finally even entertain the idea of an investigation from the sound of things. This is just total clown shit. This is terrifying. You can do nothing wrong and still just end up in jail, confused, cock in hand, wondering what the fuck is happening. And they won't even investigate. They just listen to AI as if it's God. They worship it. It's that's shocking to me. It's scary. She lost her house, her car, and her dog. And they're doing nothing to, compensate her for this or anything. And when they did finally dismiss the case, it sounds like they just, kicked her to the curb, literally dumped her outside, potato sacked her, threw her out like a, fucking bowl of dirty tomatoes, and just said, good luck, find your own way home. Just kidding, I know you lost it. It's wild just how out of control this is. And this is not an isolated incident. As I've said, I've already covered a case similar to this, but not quite to this extreme. The other person who was found guilty by AI, even though they had done nothing wrong, they were not guilty. AI false flagged them. That person was pretty quickly exonerated. This took 6 months and actually ruined her life. She lost, everything as a result of it. Just listen to this. She was booked in Tennessee County Jail as a fugitive from justice from North Dakota. So because she was considered a fugitive, she was held without bail and sat in jail for nearly 4 initial months. And then she got a court-appointed lawyer for the extradition process and was told she'd have to travel to North Dakota to fight it. She even stated, I've never been to North Dakota. I don't know anyone from North Dakota. So even though she's 1,000 miles away, the conclusion that they drew from that isn't that maybe AI flagged the wrong suspect here. Maybe this isn't actually a person of interest. Maybe we should follow up with this and see if this is actually a guilty person or someone associated with this in any way. Instead of anything logical or sane, they instead said, oh, she must be a fugitive. So go in guns blazing and throw her in county. And since she's a fugitive, that's no bail and we don't have to do anything else. She can just sit there and rot for 4 months. That's horrifying. So again, you sitting right there, maybe you've done nothing wrong your entire life, but you are not safe from this. At any moment, it seems like AI could just false flag you as a suspect anywhere across the country here. So let's say a criminal goes out there and does some nefarious activities in Rhode Island, and maybe you did a facial scan to verify your age on Discord a month ago. They have access to that data. Maybe AI thinks that you look vaguely familiar to that criminal all the way in Rhode Island. Well, if AI finds you a suspect, they think you look pretty suspicious. Seems like a lot of these police officers won't second guess it at all, so they might just swoop in and grab your ass, throw you in county, hit you with the, hey, you're a fucking fugitive. You got no rights here, so you're gonna sit here and rot for a little while till they can get down here and collect you. Might take a few months, so good luck. Realistically, though, the police would never even say good luck in a case like this. They'd tell you to go fuck yourself, like what they did to Angela Lips. Lips says that the police didn't even offer to pay for her trip home. This is after she was found to be innocent of these crimes in which she spent fucking 108 days in jail for. They didn't offer to pay for her trip home, and with no money to her name, she was stranded in Fargo. Again, this is 1,200 miles away from where she actually lives. Sympathetic local defense attorneys pooled together money to pay for a hotel room, and a local nonprofit called the F5 Project arranged her trip back to Tennessee. I had my summer clothes on, no coat, it was so cold outside, snow on the ground, scared, I wanted out, but I didn't know what I was going to do, how I was going to get home. She says that she lost her home, her car, and her dog as a result of her stint in jail, and no one from Fargo Police Department has apologized for the disastrous mix-up, she said. Yeah, that apology's never coming. Right now they're doing this behind the desk about the whole thing. They kicked this woman out into freezing cold temperatures, snow on the ground while wearing her summer clothes after they collected her from Tennessee many months after they wrongfully imprisoned her for a crime she didn't commit and literally couldn't even be a suspect in, all because of AI and them not wanting to do their jobs. So they get her all the way here in a place she is completely unfamiliar with, no money, no appropriate clothing, and they just push her out there and do nothing. No apology, no compensation, and it's entirely because of the good nature of some like actual generous people pooling money together to get her safely accommodated and then safely back to Tennessee, that she was even able to get home. Well, she lost her home, get back to where she's from. The Fargo police seem like heartless demons here. The fucking crew of Davy Jones in the second Pirates of the Caribbean movie was more nice than the Fargo Police Department here, it seems. This is so out of control. They couldn't even utter like a single like apology or acknowledgement of like man, this is rough. Jeez, tough, man. Sorry about that. Nothing at all. And an apology should be the least of it. I mean this sincerely. Everyone involved in this case should lose their jobs as a result of it. I think that's only fair. They are bad at their jobs. The Goof Troop did no investigation at all, wrongfully imprisoned an innocent woman, and did nothing at all to even try and investigate to see if they got the suspect. So they also let the criminal keep getting away with it too, by the way. So like they're just dog shit at their jobs. Like these fucking worms shouldn't have that position anymore. I think that makes sense. 1000%. And it makes you question if there's more people wrongfully imprisoned over there in North Dakota as a result of these police officers here that for some reason just let AI police North Dakota for them and do nothing at all on their own to try and enforce justice and actually catch the bad guys. So why the fuck do these police officers still have their job when they're not even doing it? It's AI doing it, and it's doing it poorly. Like, again, they are shitty at it. They shouldn't have that position anymore. This is not how justice is conducted, with just blindly sucking the cock of AI when it tells you that this is the suspect over 1,000 miles away and you don't question it at all. And then you arrest an innocent woman. This should be a much bigger deal. This should be a much more alarming case everyone should be talking about, because this is a woman who's not even in the same fucking state that has now just spent 6 months in jail over doing nothing. She did nothing wrong. I had no idea what was going on or why. And then ended up getting kicked out of the police department in a state she's not from, with no appropriate clothing for the weather, no money, no transportation, no means of getting home or anything at all, and not a single attempt from the police to try and rectify this, not a single apology from them, no compensation or anything, even though it is solely their fault, entirely their own fault. And they're not even responsible to get her, like, home. They can't even do, like, the bare minimum of getting her back home over 1,000 miles away from where they've just kicked her out over their own embarrassing fuck up, mind you. Like, this is just completely unacceptable. It's like she should be getting oodles of cash from these fucking idiots who have had a deep negative impact on her life. She lost so much from this and they're not doing anything? How is that okay? They need to be punished. She should be compensated in a big way. This actually infuriated me learning about this story. And again, like I said, this isn't the only time it's happened, but this is by far the most extreme example of it happening. But yeah, this shit really grinded my gears, so I really wanted to talk about it. That's about it. So yep. Oh! Oh! Wow, great sparring session. But your chakra was way off. You need to work on your Aikido, study some more Steven Seagal movies, then get back to me. It'll be years before you can challenge me again, but I was impressed with your gumption. Now, it didn't take long, but we have arrived. We are at the point now where AI-generated shorts are more popular than human-made shorts. The old-fashioned flesh and blood has now been phased out of the algorithm in favor of AI. According to the most recent numbers that are being published across YouTube Shorts and TikTok, the fastest growing and the content with the most views is entirely AI generated. And people are willingly choosing to watch it. They're not being deceived or misled into thinking that there was an actual person on the other side. There are just some drooling imbeciles out there that refuse to activate neurons and love to just sit, clap, glazed eyes, watching AI slop. This story in particular is one that's been popping off. An AI-powered TikTok account behind Fruit Love Island series is already the fastest growing ever, gaining 3 million followers in 9 days since launching on March 13th. It has videos hitting tens of millions of views within hours and a rapidly growing fandom. I don't know if it's true or not that it's the fastest growing TikTok account ever. That could just be some phony baloney garbage that's solely there to get some eyes on it and maybe even push some more people to find this channel over there on TikTok. But it is true that in only 9 days, it has reached over 3 million followers and almost all their videos have in excess of 10 million views. It is huge. Now, I believe a lot of it is botted. I think that's probably the main strategy these AI slop factories use, is they make some shorts and then bot the views to try and get people to organically filter in and then stick around. And you can see for AI.cinema021, this has been a home run strategy for them. Even that name makes it very clear that this is just one of their endless attempts to have an AI account pop off. It is just a throwaway name, AI.cinema021. It is probably like their 21st account doing this exact same fucking thing. This just happened to be the one that caught fire. But yeah, it has worked wonders for them. It's been a slam dunk. They have a whole community that's starting to prosper and bloom. They talk about Fruit Love Island like people used to talk about Skibbity Toilet.
Why did you hide your phone?
It's nothing!
Wait, who is Peachy Baby?
Give that back!
You told her you were single?
Vomit-inducing trash. And they're also using, like, really early AI for this, I think. They're probably using the fucking prototype that Will Smith was eating spaghetti on a few years back. They're on fucking Grok negative 1.0. Like, the lip-syncing doesn't match at all. And everything about it is just super fucking cattywampus. So, like, the way that they're holding the phone there, the hand is completely wrong and backwards. But I imagine people like that as part of the charm, it being so wonky and shitty. And that's not to say that if it was a more sophisticated AI video, that'd make it better. It'd still be an entire pile of dog shit for sure.
I can explain!
He told me he was single too. Wait, what? You know what? He can keep his stupid phone. Let's just leave him. Honestly, he was the worst. Yeah, but at least something good came out of it.
This is what gets shown in hell. This whole account is like the Emoji Movie if it was made by a glue-huffing PCP addict. It's just so bad. This was the first video on the channel. Then it went into its iconic Fruit Love Island series, Season 1. I just don't get it. I really don't. I don't know how anyone finds that entertaining. Like, oh, haha, look, the fruit relationship, it fell apart. He pretended to be single when he wasn't, and now the fruit broke up with the other fruit. Holy shit. Wow, only possible through the power of AI. I can't believe it. Future, it's here.
Welcome to Fruit Love Island, where 8 single fruits are about to flirt, fight, and trust. Things get messy fast. Okay, this villa is insane. I'm not leaving here single. I just hope the guys are hot.
I'm here to have fun, and probably break a few hearts. Bro said the quiet part out loud. I just hope the girls like nice guys.
If you're an avid watcher of Fruit Love Island, if you're an AI cinema enthusiast, you are a genuine loser. You deserve the apple juice that keeps getting poured on your head at the lunch tables. This is pathetic. Now, I know everyone's expecting it to only be children that's watching this, coloring on their construction paper with crayons and endlessly consuming this AI slop, but you'd be wrong. Granted, a lot of it, I imagine, is that where parents just refuse to raise their kids, so slap them in front of the iPad and they end up finding Fruit Love Island, but there is a large portion of this fan base that are adults. I cannot fathom being a grown-ass man sitting down to watch my soap opera, Fruit Love Island from AI.cinema021. If you ever catch me watching shit like this, please just Baker Act me. My God.
Okay, the banana guy is definitely my type. Wait, I saw him first.
So, which one of you is the troublemaker?
I could be. He might not survive both of us.
Oh, this is gonna be messy.
Islanders, it's time for the first coupling ceremony. The girls will choose which guy they want to couple up with. The guy I want to couple up with is Benanito.
Now, I know what you're thinking, that people are getting wrapped up in this ironically. And you'd be very wrong. That cope would fall flat here when you actually look at the fans that are talking about it and commenting on it. There definitely is a portion that try and make it like a, steal a brain rot type thing. But there's also equal parts of watchers that genuinely just put this on because they're excited for it.
Actually, I'm not letting that happen. I pick him. You can't just steal him like that. Looks like I just did.
I mean, I'm not complaining.
The final couples are Pina Pina and Benanito. Next, we have Water Melina and Arangelo, and then Sharita and Grapenzo, and lastly, Mangela and Kiwilo.
You're looking at the future of Coca-Cola advertising, by the way, as they continue to fall deeper and deeper into the asshole of AI. And in fact, you're going to see a lot more pieces of content, and that term doesn't even really apply to this. You're going to be seeing a lot more of this plague sweeping through as more and more companies see just how lucrative it is. And not just companies, individuals, they're all going to latch onto this titty here and try and suckle some milk out of it. It's already happening. There's a ton of other AI Love Island videos popping up now. For example, Candy Lovers Island is what it's called. That's another one that's blowing up. They're coming up on like 200,000 followers and getting millions of views.
Welcome back to Candy Love Island. Quick reminder before we start. The official account is Vasai Faz on TikTok. Stop following fake accounts. And if you want to vote, link in bio or go to candyloveland.com.
Yo, whatever happens today, I am not doing anything. I am serious. Candy trusts me.
Okay, I hear you.
Welcome to Casa Sweetie, gentlemen.
It's so shameless, it's even using the exact same AI music that AI Fruit Love Island uses. And the thing is, they can do that. You can do it too. The precedent has already been set that AI content is not copyrightable. So they don't actually own any of this. Candy Love Island, Fruit Love Island, they don't actually own any of it. They might just be the butt that's farting out all this poop, but it's not theirs. They don't actually own anything. I could right now take all of their videos and start uploading them with no alterations, and they can't take them down. They can't copyright strike it or claim it or anything, because it's not theirs. They don't have any ownership over any of that garbage anyway. So that call to action at the start of the Candy Love Island segment was really fucking beautiful. That's a certified chef's kiss moment, because they're bitching about like fake accounts that are getting traffic now, and they're not following the real one, which is Faz Asif or whatever the hell it was. He's trying so hard to get some clout to his account. This is the real official one. I'm the one that's producing this masterpiece of a series with Candy Love Island. Guys, come flock to me. What are you doing? These are all impersonators. They're fakes. They're stealing from me. They're stealing my IP, my AI Candy Love Island, which they literally can't even steal it from you because it's not yours. It's actually a thing of beauty to see them try and put these call to actions now in there to protect their work. Again, not theirs.
Night, it's time for the recoupling. You know the deal. If you're not picked, you're going home. I just wanted to clear the air.
Okay.
I'm not trying to get in the middle of you and Mangela. Strawberina was talking crazy about Mangela.
What did she say?
That she's dramatic, and that I handled everything better.
Wow.
I feel like you act very confident, but I can't tell if that's just your thing.
I mean, maybe at first, but with you, I'm actually a little nervous.
Here's the most recent episode. It's got already multiple millions of views. It hasn't even been a whole day yet. Comments were going ballistic, set ablaze by all the twists and turns of Fruit Love Island. People talking about how they stayed home from school to watch the newest Fruit Love Island, that kind of thing. Which, of course, I'm sure is just an exaggeration, but there are genuinely people that are really, really into this shit. And it just goes to show you just how far we are degrading as a species. People are willingly watching this over actual people. They want AI slop. They are craving more AI slop. So I can't even be mad at the people that make it anymore and capitalize off of these brain dead fucking fools like these zombie husk people, because they're making so much money off of it and people are begging for more. Like they are literally on their hands and knees asking for more AI trash. It's so fucking sad. And it didn't take long at all for it to overtake human-made content. So we've fully entered into that era now. It is the more popular content out there according to the numbers that I've been seeing. Now, of course, I guess those numbers could also be fudged. Those could be a lie as well. But you can also just look for yourself with your own peepers and see how popular all this AI content is on YouTube Shorts and on TikTok. On YouTube Shorts, you can actually see what the most viewed content is, and most of it is AI from the last time I checked. TikTok, I don't know if they have that same ability, but just take a look at AI.cinema. Over 3 million followers in 9 days. I don't know of any other TikTok accounts that are actual human-made content that's doing numbers like that with that kind of motion. So it seems like it's probably accurate to say AI content has fully taken over Shorts platforms now, and people are welcoming it with open arms. It fucking sucks, man. That's really about it. So yeah. EA is a name that strikes fear into the wallet of gamers everywhere. I still remember all those years ago when they were voted I think it was the most hated company in America, or it might have just been point blank worst company in America. Which, there are no saints over there at the EA office, but I definitely think there are worse companies, but it just goes to show you the pure disdain people have for EA and their practices. They have not been well liked for a very long time. But you know who does like them? The Saudi Arabian government. They like them so much that they are buying EA for $55 billion. Now, it's not just the Saudi Arabia Public Investment Fund that's buying them all on their own outright. They've actually got a whole Royal Rumble going halvesies with them, so they've got fucking superstars like Silver Lake and Jared Kushner's affinity partners doing this deal with them. So they've got like the superstars of slime here that are forking up 55 billion clams to own EA. EA was a publicly traded company, but obviously with this will no longer be. They're taking it private. Now there is one other name here that's very important to this deal. JP Morgan. Because you see, Darman fam, $20 billion of debt is being committed by JP Morgan for this deal, $18 billion of which is expected to be funded at close. Now, what does this mean for you, someone who might just be excited for Battlefield coming out? Well, 20 billion is a big number. If you converted that to pounds, it's nearly as heavy as your mother, bitch. Point is, $20 billion is what EA is now responsible to pay back. It's debt. And what are the ways that you can look to try and squeeze some more juice from the lemons here? More microtransactions, something EA is very famous for. Another strategy EA might employ is layoffs. Again, something they're not a stranger to. And I predict, as well as I've seen other people also make this prediction, I'm not fucking Baba Vanga over here with some kind of galaxy brain speculative theory. I would imagine they're going to start closing studios like BioWare. I think BioWare is going to be their big one. Their games have not been performing well financially for EA for a while. Anthem, into Dragon Age, the Veilguard, they're not crushing it in their sales numbers, and they're a very expensive component of EA. Maybe not in like the grand scheme of like billions of dollars, but that still is a sizable chunk of change, and I think they're going to be checking under every single cushion on the sofa, looking for any way of finding more money to pay back this debt. I would imagine there's going to be even more excessive microtransactions, just desperately trying to claw into your wallet to get you to spend money in their games, and I think there's going to be layoffs and studio closures. Again, EA is very famous for gutting studios, so I think that now with this 20 billion debt on the plate, they're going to be even more aggressive. That's what I expect, and I've seen a lot of other people also have that same idea in their head. It just feels like that's probably the direction EA will go. And I also saw it being reported by a lot of outlets that apparently the new EA owners are hopeful that AI will be their saving grace here for cutting cost and boosting profits. Which, again, AI, the entire purpose right now is just for the sake of saving money on the bottom line by replacing workers. So you don't have to pay salary to people. You can just have AI spit shit out. According to a report that is paywalled, so again, I'm getting this secondhand from all the other reports reporting on that one. But apparently it was stated that AI would be used to boost EA's profits in the coming years and to manage a large debt load on a company that historically carried limited net debt. Now, I've yapped about this strategy endlessly, and it's clearly not exclusive to EA. Every company on the planet right now is scrambling to try and get the fucking AI in a titty twister so they can utilize it to save money. And there's going to be plenty of other gaming companies that will follow suit. Even with EA, even if EA wasn't being purchased for $55 billion with $20 billion in debt, they would still 100% be trying to use AI to save money. I'm sure it's already happening across the entire industry right now. In fact, I've got a little tinfoil hat conspiracy theory that Ubisoft CEO is actually just AI. I don't think there's a single human being left in that food chain there at the upper echelon, because there is no way a sentient, living, breathing organism could have come up with ideas as stupid as Ubisoft has. But in this case, again, it's not exclusive to EA. They're just being a little more open about it, I guess, about how they're going to utilize AI to cut these costs. Now let's talk about the new owners of EA. One of them being the Saudi Arabian government. Now, if you've been paying attention to the state of tech, or even the state of sports, or esports, you probably know the Saudi Arabian government's been getting its fingers in a lot of different pies here. They've been exploring tons and tons of different companies and brands to own. And it's been going on for a few years now, a handful of years now, and I don't think it's going to slow down or stop anytime soon. In fact, quite the opposite. I'm confident Saudi Arabian government will continue to snatch up tons of major brands and companies across the globe. And if you don't mind, I'd like to go on a bit of a side tangent here. I'd like to blabber a bit. Esports. Many of you know I've been in the esports space for 5 years now. Started with Moist Esports, now Shopify Rebellion. So, as an owner of an esports team, I can tell you firsthand, Saudi Arabian government wants to basically own the entire fucking industry there. And they're already getting very close with things like the Esports World Cup. Most recently, EVO, where they're the majority owner of EVO. They have infinite money. So in a scene like esports, which money is a myth, there is, as I've said numerous times, there is no money to be made in esports. It is just an absolute endless pit of agony when it comes to financials. Me, it's fine bleeding money there because I'm doing it under the idea that I'm going to lose this money, but I'm investing in it because what I get out of it is fun. I love the spirit of competition. I love esports. It's why I had Moist Esports, and it's why I now have Shopify Rebellion, so I could expand the esports space and have more things to watch and support more players. I love it. But any business that wants to get into esports hates it because you just lose money. And the Saudi Arabian government obviously noticed that, so what they did is they put the chemical X into the sector, money. They've given tons and tons of teams tons and tons of money to support things like the EWC and to own things in the esports space because, well, without them they're not making money, so they feel they absolutely have to play ball. I, of course, have seen this firsthand, but have declined all of that mumbo-jumbo. I haven't been shy about it. I've told you straight up numerous times, I don't watch the EWC. I don't support it at all. I don't watch it in private. Nothing. I think that shit sucks. I'm sure I don't need to tell you, but the Saudi Arabian government's got a whole host of issues, human rights violations out the wazoo. I'm sure I don't need to go into a ton of detail into the nitty-gritty. And honestly, just the whole idea of a government deciding that it wants to get its grubby paws around an entire industry and own the entire sector outright, that's fucking terrible no matter what. So yeah, I don't like this at all. I hate what's happening in the esports space where every organization, every game, every brand basically has to suckle the teat of Saudi Arabia in some way, shape, or form. I don't like the direction. Now, of course, I understand why it's got to that point because there is just no money there, but it doesn't change the fact that I don't like it. Now, we have had players on our teams participate in like the EWC because, as I've always said, we don't take player winnings, so them winning doesn't bring money back to us or anything, and I'm not going to get in the way of any of our players going and making their own decisions on how they want to like make a bag or something. That is entirely up to them, all power to them, and there's no ill will there at all. But they've not represented Moist Esports at the EWC or anything like that. I know this is a long-winded tangent, but the point is, the Saudi Arabian government is doing this not only in just like EA or esports, but all across the whole spectrum of technology and entertainment. In fact, just look up things that the Saudi Arabian government, like the PIF, has like percentages of. It's a lot. It's a ton of things, and many other video game companies, by the way. This is just their biggest buyout. This is huge. $55 billion for EA is big. And I do think there will be some noticeable changes to a lot of EA games and property. I think we're going to be in an era of even greedier EA garbage, if such a thing is even fathomable. So yeah, overall, I don't think this is going to be like an improvement to EA games or anything like that. I don't think consumers are going to walk away from this kind of deal with a big W for the quality of games we're going to start receiving here. I guess I'm willing to be proven wrong, but I highly fucking doubt that. I think it's going to be net negative changes across the board for EA games going forward. But one other thing I want to briefly mention, I've seen some people talking about EA in this story as if they're like some kind of defenseless victim or something, like, oh no, the Saudi Arabian government, they got EA in its clutches and there was nothing EA could do. Motherfucker, they could have just said no. They didn't have to make the deal. Like, it's not like EA is the good guy of the story or anything here. Like, this is across the board just greed. Like, it's just absurd. Anyway, though, that's really about it. So, yep. Yeah, I'm wearing a frown right now. And I know it doesn't look good on me. I don't like to frown, but sometimes I can't help it.
This is Nyx. She has a crazy order.
I want a double Butterburger. 2 of those, please. Family-sized curds, a large chocolate custard, concrete mixers. There you go. With that's chocolate ice cream or the chocolate custard, and Oreos and cheesecake.
It'll be $45.79.
I'm a content creator. I don't know if you've heard of me before, Will Kelly. I'm sure you have.
No, unfortunately, I haven't heard of you. Sorry.
At first, I just thought this was rage bait. I kind of wrote it off as being too on the nose, too obvious that it was on purpose. Rage bait has become like a staple on Twitter and TikTok specifically because it's super effective at engagement farming. But then I took a deeper look at his page, watched a few videos on there, and I'm pretty sure he's just genuinely an asshole. This is just who he is. He has this self-importance about him now because he has a following, and he tries to spin a couple of these things positively, like, I give this food away to homeless people, which is another thing that a lot of TikTok douchebags try to do to deflect criticism. How dare you insult my cringe and my bad attitude and being obnoxious and annoying and disruptive to employees at these fast food establishments where I exploit them for my content and belittle them. Didn't you know that I gave this homeless guy a soda once? It's such a cringe tactic that they try to do. It's not actually because they're trying to do good in the world or help somebody. It's just so they can use it as a shield to deflect criticism. So I don't think that this is rage bait on purpose. He marches into so many fast food places like fucking Bubble Bass and just causes like a stir and just tries to make a spectacle out of things. At times, well, I'll show you in a second, he even goes back and like directly confronts a worker because he wasn't getting his order taken immediately upon getting in there. They didn't roll out the fucking red carpet and have pyrotechnics going off to celebrate his arrival to this fast food place. It's so fucking embarrassing.
Just me being here is like huge exposure for you, for the company. So let's make a deal. Do you really expect me to pay full price?
Unfortunately, I can't give you a discount. Sorry.
She's the manager. She'll do it.
Okay.
You're good, John.
I follow him on Instagram. Like, I see his videos and stuff. And, like, how he's inspired me to like weight loss.
I don't know how he's inspired anyone to do anything other than just turn off their phone for the day from this unbearable, insufferable cringe that he produces. But I mean, it's great that he somehow had a positive impact on that guy when it comes to weight loss. But why should that entitle him to pay less for his food? That doesn't make any sense to me. Why does he get special privileges just because he posts some shit on TikTok and Instagram that has nothing to do with the order that's being placed here. I don't even understand why he's trying to haggle with them in the first place. Why is he putting up a big stink about paying full price for this meal for a guest that he brought in? His videos always follow the same formula, like 99% of the time. He brings in another overweight person and says, "This is what I ate at 600 pounds. It's crazy." Then they go in, place a huge order, then they sit down and have a yap session, which is usually just him flirting with the guest. It's fucking miserable to watch. I'd rather watch someone steal my car than watch him flirt with more people. But that is usually how it goes. Why is he now having an issue paying for that meal? It's the entire, like, bread and butter of his fucking content. It's so cringe. And this is why I thought it was rage bait initially, because he is actually going through, like, the bullet point checklist of a douchebag influencer that everyone spits on and throws tomatoes at. Oh, just my presence being here is great exposure for you and the business. The business being Culver's, it's doing just fine without you. It's a massive business. It is also one of my favorite fast food establishments. So him going in there with this kind of behavior, besmirching the good name of Culver's, already sickens me to my core. So he goes in there, disrespects this holy ground, and just hits all of the buzzwords, goes down the checklist of shit people hate from specimen like this that have this self-entitled attitude because they have followers online. And then he just goes through it one by one. Oh, exposure for you, exposure for the business is huge. My presence here, you're so lucky. What a privilege you get to take my order, that kind of thing. And it just feels like it's on purpose. But again, after like looking more into him, I think he is just this much of a douchebag.
I'm inspiring, Michelle. Let's work together here.
We can give you a 10% discount.
This is really what you're giving me?
I eat this every time. There's a reason, I mean.
Alrighty.
You want a drink?
Huh? No, I don't eat this poison anymore.
They just gave you a 10% discount and you're just right in front of them calling it all poison. Very classy, Will. So they do eventually just concede. They don't want to deal with this man-child anymore. They just say, all right, here's 10%. And then he hits a little shimmy. He just gets so gleeful, which is over the top and performative for the sake of the spectacle, the fucking circus that he's putting on here where he's the main nose-honking clown for it. And even though it feels like it could be rage bait by design, I just don't think it is after looking more into his shit. And also, you can even see it kind of in the way that he treats someone who's being very positive about the impact he's had on their life, which again, is against all conventional wisdom. There's nothing that this guy has produced that I could ever see being inspirational to anyone other than just not wanting to end up like him because he's a fucking insufferable loser. But this guy at Culver's said that he knows this guy's content, and it helped him with weight loss. And you know how Will responded to it? By just shaking his head, disregarding it entirely, and then trying to leverage that as a way of benefiting himself financially where he doesn't have to pay full price for the meal. He says verbatim, after that guy gave a pretty heartfelt endorsement like, hey, this content meant this to me, Will then just says, you see that, Michelle? I'm inspiring, so let's work out a deal. Like he's fucking Rick from Pawn Stars. So he completely disregards that guy's appreciation of his content. He doesn't even give you a thank you. He doesn't even really look at the guy. He completely ignores him. Instead just shakes his head and then instantly goes into trying to capitalize off of that like we got a new bargaining chip, so I'm definitely not paying full price, right? Look, this employee over there likes my shit. So come on, what are we doing here? Obviously he likes my shit. You're weird for not knowing me, Michelle. Especially all the exposure I'm going to bring you on a personal level. You can be the guy that gave me my order. You took my order, and people are going to throw flowers at you going down the street. You're the lady from Culver's that took Will's order? Holy shit. See, that's what I could do for you, Michelle. Like, that's his attitude. That is actually how he behaves, with or without cameras, I believe.
Yeah, okay. I'm changing my life.
Okay, that's valid.
Please don't tip me, okay? I need a support system next. Right. Santiago's not real. He's the man behind the camera. Don't speak to Santiago.
Them.
Huh? Oh, them. Of course.
Do not talk to the... I talk to the camera all the time.
Okay, I'm just making sure you're not talking to the cameraman. He's not human to us.
No. He's just a tripod.
We're on the same page here. So forget Santiago.
Forget Santiago. Who's he?
Nobody.
This is something I've been making a habit on calling out, and I'm going to keep doing it because it's important people realize that these kind of fucking dweebs, these kind of twerps, are not able to do what they do by themselves. It's not a one-person show, even though they are the main protagonist clown that appears in the content doing all the garbage. there is always a cameraman. In this case, we get his name. His name's Santiago. And they are now just humiliating him here, just insulting him. He's not human to us. Fuck that guy. That guy's a loser. Santiago sucks, pussy. That kind of thing, as he's filming all of it. And I'm sure he's in on the joke. But Santiago, do you get paid for this? Does Will pay you? I doubt it. These kind of worms, these scumbags, do not pay their camera people usually. And especially given Will's attitude, I bet he has convinced Santiago to do this for exposure dollars. Santiago, this is gonna blow your socials up, man. We're gonna make sure you also have a career as an influencer too. Yeah, I'll hold the camera when you start to blow up as well, man. Don't worry about it. But yeah, you're gonna do this for me, right? For free? I'm sorry, not free. For all the clout that you get to suckle from my fucking bosom, right? I thought so, Santiago. And we're going to insult you a lot, by the way. That's going to be like our main thing. You're going to be like our spittoon. And don't worry, it's all in good fun, Santiago. I bet he's doing it for free. And if that is the case, then that's some real cuck shit, Santiago. All of these fucking TikTok influencer, pranksters and shit like that do this same thing where the cameraman becomes the one they feel really comfortable insulting. And they just take it. And they get nothing out of it. They get no money. He's definitely not splitting the ad revenue. That never happens here. And I doubt that he's getting paid a salary for it. I doubt that he's getting paid per video that he films. I bet he gets nothing for it. And that shit is just as cringe as Will himself. Have some self-respect.
Next.
Yes.
I'm a bigger man.
Mm-hmm.
You've noticed this.
I have.
Do you find me attractive?
I do. Oh, hi. Hello.
I want to serve you guys.
Thank you so much.
That's a lot of food. We're gonna get back to it later. I'm getting my Mac game on.
Gotcha.
You understand? Thumbs up.
Thumbs
Shout
up.
out to Denise.
Yeah.
Now let's look at this food. Shredder, you was really eating this?
I won't torture you with their conversation, but this is how like all of it goes, where he starts to activate the Riz. Sharingan online, Riz mode engaged. That kind of shit. It fucking sucks. I hate his voice too, by the way. His voice sounds like a fucking Ben 10 character on Helium. I can't stand the way he talks, and I'm pretty sure that's not his actual voice. I think that is something that he puts on for the sake of being like grating and over the top.
Whenever it's negative, everybody has something to say. Give me my flowers on my positive, bro. Give me my flowers. I've been going viral this week. A bunch of people have been reacting to my Culver's video, saying, who does he think he is? Who does he think he is? Will Kelly, bro.
Whoa, dude, that went so hard, bro. I'm Will Kelly. Damn, oh my lord. That mic drop moment. Chills. Literal chills. Gave me goosebumps, Will. I hate this mentality where assholes like this do inevitably get talked about for some like dog shit. Specifically the Culver's thing is what's blown up for him right now. People are making fun of him for it, insulting him for it. And it's so common for these main characters to start yapping about like, oh, why does no one ever give me my flowers for all the positive stuff I do? You must have missed the video where I went and gave a homeless guy a sip of my smoothie and then gave him $1. I saved his life and no one's talking about it. And in this one, no one's talking about my incredible weight loss, all this weight that I've lost recently. No one's giving me all my positive flowers there. I'm a force for good, not evil, even though the vast majority of what he does is disruptive trash. So they always fall back on like, here's like a couple of good things I did that obviously I filmed, because if I didn't film it, I can't profit from it, I can't benefit from it. So I'm using it as a shield and no one's talking about it. You can't insult me, by the way, because I did all this good stuff. I'm positive, baby. They always do that shit, and I'm so tired of it.
Will Kelly is who I think I am, dog. Will Kelly, that's who. I just lost 50 pounds in 2 months. Don't ask me why I'm arrogant. I'm the only innovator in my niche. Don't ask me why I'm arrogant. All the fat boys losing weight have copied my style of video. Don't ask me why I'm arrogant, bro. I got reasons to be, honestly. For the people who hate and just want negativity, get it off. I know you will anyway. I'm not tripping about it. I promise you I'm not.
Yeah, nothing says not tripping about it, unbothered, don't care, quite like having a whole rant and raving session about it, huh? Really don't care, do ya? Now, if I may, I'm gonna try and plant a little seed up there and see if I can get those neurons to activate, give you a little something to ponder. Why do you have a reason to be arrogant? Why not just be happy about your own improved health on this weight loss journey? Why do you have to be an asshole about it? It's not a requirement. You don't need to be. You're choosing to be. Because you are just an asshole, bro. Like, and he's also talking about innovating. You haven't innovated shit, man. This formula existed before you. This is like the most standard shit ever. He goes into restaurants, orders a lot of food, and sits down and yaps. Brother, what did you innovate? Nothing. All you did is come up with your own catchphrase of, this is what I ate at 600 pounds. It's crazy. That shit sucks. That's a flop. That is a full-blown fucking blunder. There is nothing you've done that is innovative, and there's nothing you are doing that I think would warrant this kind of attitude. The way it comes across is that he was fishing for any kind of excuse to express his inner douchebaggery. Like, I've lost 50 pounds. Don't ask me why I'm arrogant. I have reasons to be, honestly. Fuck that, man. How about just not being an arrogant asshole? How about just not being a fucking loser about it and using it as maybe something inspirational? Like that guy at Culver's who somehow did find, buried deep in this trash, something motivational for his own personal health journey. And instead of like engaging with that, he instead just doesn't even look at him, gives him a side eye like, see that? Inspirational. Now where's my money saved on this order? By the way, I'm a big deal.
Yeah, Jamba Juice when I was over 600 pounds. It was crazy. Let's check it out. Alright guys, today we are at the legendary Jamba Juice. I actually have a Jamba Juice song. Jamba Juice, juice, juice. Jamba Juice, juice, juice. Jamba Juice, juice, juice. Jamba Juice. Do that anymore? I just order the food and give it away. Let's see what I used to get. Sure do wish I could get some service.
Huge Baby Shark cover there, awesome stuff, banger. And he goes on about like what he used to order, and now he just orders it and gives it away. And then he's getting upset because he's not getting any service. Open your eyes, Buster. You are literally leaning on the kiosk that says to order and pay there. Holy shit, you dummy. And I bet it had only been like 45 seconds of him standing there. And then he immediately just gets rambunctious. Oh, I'm not getting any service. Where's the manager? This is outrageous. So he starts to walk back behind the counter to find someone to take his order, even though he was literally stationed right in front of the place where he places the order. If he didn't duct tape Santiago's mouth shut, I bet he would have piped up and said, hey man, you order right there. But perhaps he put the fear of God in Santiago where he's afraid to speak out. I don't know. But this is so cringe, man.
Excuse me, sir. What's going on, man?
Yo, bro, you can't be back here.
Oh, we can't. Oh, my bad. I was just wondering if you could take my order.
Yeah, but I'm doing it, so you gotta wait. Like,
all right, yeah, no, I'll wait.
Nah, but what you, like, can't just be walking back here.
All right, bro, I'll go back over there. I do it whenever I'm not getting my order, man. I'm doing it whenever I'm not getting my order. I literally was just telling you I'm up here waiting. Bro, I'm over here now. We good.
You slimy greaseball. He goes back there with the cameraman, making sure to point it at the worker, berating him. Oh, I just do this when I'm not getting my order. I always do this when I'm not getting my order. Did you know I was up there for like 15 seconds? Dude, where were you? It was a ghost town in here. What do you mean I'm supposed to order at the thing that says to place your order there? No, that can't be right. This is your fault. This is your fault. You're a bad person for making me wait. Don't you know I'm trying to do incredible things in the world right now? And you are hindering that journey.
I don't even gotta take your order, but I'm already coming back to like.
Dog, I'm back over here. We good. Got his attention. Oh, we can order on the pad, bro? Oh, okay. My bad, man. It's just you working, bro? Yeah, I feel you. Clearly hates his job. I just made his job more difficult. Kinda feel like a jerk. Kinda don't care.
You're so tough, man. Holy shit. Bro just doesn't care that he made his job worse because Will gets content out of it. Huge exposure for that guy, by the way. I bet he's going to see this video and be so thankful that Will did this for him. I bet that's so awesome. Bro, Will really is a saint. You see the way that he marches back there with the camera guy and then just makes his day worse, this guy who's working at Jamba Juice and making sure that he can use this for the maximum amount of juice for the squeeze for his content. Will, buddy, what a guy. So cool.
I get the mango go. I love the mango go, okay? Get the large mango go. I really hope the guy that back there, you know what, bro? He can spit in my drink if he wants to, all right? I was thinking, like, he seems pretty peeved. He might want to spit in my drink or something like that. If he spits in my drink, I'm not drinking it. You feel me? But maybe I shouldn't give it to a homeless person. Maybe I skip that this time. I think maybe. This is the chocolate waffle, right?
Oh.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that was a bowl, sorry.
Nah, it's cool. My order was wrong. Am I gonna make a fuss about this? No, because I've already done way too much in this establishment. I'm glad I'm not the old Will Kelly.
True, we're all thankful you're not the old Will. Because, the establishment wouldn't have survived. He would have burnt this bitch to the ground. He would have completely dismantled this place like he was Godzilla in there. Just ravaging it for getting his order wrong. But if I may, Will, why do you care that the order's wrong if you're giving it away? You're not eating it. Why does it matter if the order's wrong? Why are you going to have them go and fix it? That seems unnecessary. If the whole point is, this is what I used to eat when I was 600 pounds, but now I don't. This is going to be given to someone that's hungry out there, a homeless person. If that's the case, Will, why make a fuss about the order being wrong? You even say that you're not going to make a big deal out of it, but you are having them fix your order and you are annoyed that they got it wrong. Doesn't really make sense now, does it? That doesn't pass the smell test. Are you eating it, Will? Is this for you? And you're just pretending to give it away? Not really sure. I don't understand why you'd be upset about that, though. But anyway, he went on about, how unhealthy and how sugary and how many calories these things actually are, which, he's right, they are a lot of calories. And it's not like a secret. You can see the amount of calories when you're placing these orders in a lot of places. I'm not super familiar with Jamba Juice. But basically what he's doing is the lowest form of look, all this food that I was eating turns out was bad for me. Insightful. Truly insightful. Anyway, I'll stop blabbering about his bad attitude. That's about it. See ya. Alright, give me that. I'm getting in the goal to help the Lightning win the Stanley Cup. What am I doing? I'm just getting in the goal to prove that Tampa's finest athlete can really do it all. I can play basketball, I can play ping pong, and I can play hockey.
The big three.
The big three.
The big three.
I appreciate it. Thank you, NHL, for letting us go to the Stadium Series game and let me get out on the ice and really show what I'm capable of.
Are you wearing
your pants?
Oh, you're right. I thought you were gonna be honest.
Oh, you're right. Charlie's gonna play goalie against these two behind you, Chase and Aaron. They've never played hockey, never shot a puck. Then myself and Danny, who really good beer league guys. We rip it with
you
the best
guys
of
won the beer league championship last year.
Against who?
Against the old pucks.
The old pucks.
They were fucking awesome.
And then we're bringing out Nick Paul from the Tampa Bay Lightning to shoot shots.
Formerly on the old pucks.
Formerly of the old pucks. He was one of the ones who broke free. He made it. He got his chance at the big dance. I have a guess that you do not stay in goal for Nick Paul shots.
Is it? Do you think it's that scary?
I think you leave. We're gonna have him rip one just against the glass.
So you're out there and you can hear what it's and see what it's
I think just promise you'll try to stop one.
I'll try. Probably what'll happen, and I was thinking about this on the drive over. Last time I was here, I got blasted in the old sack.
Yeah.
So I do remember that. I think I did it.
No, it was Danny's shot.
No, it was you because it ran up the stick.
Oh, that's right.
You're right. So probably what'll happen is that'll be my main concern, and I'll just do it like this.
You will have a cup this time.
Big cup.
I had a cup last time.
Did you really?
I don't think
you did.
Here, let me see. I'll get you your goalie cup.
Whoever's editing this, instant replay on the cup check. Does he have a cup on?
No.
Oh, cool. Why would you want that when you're standing in goal?
You kind of look like you're built like the Onion Knight right now.
Yeah, I was actually just thinking that. I feel like I'm getting into Dark Souls armor.
Yeah, you got knee pads. You can just drop. You're gonna have to drop to your knees.
Is that how you do it?
Yep. Oh, there you go.
That's good.
How many did I just?
And then now that you're on your hands and knees, you just yeah. Yep.
Oh, you're gonna be fine.
Yep.
Was that pretty?
That was pretty good. Yeah. Well, I'll try it later with the pads on, so you can see what it feels like. You will not be able to skate in these the same way that you normally do.
That's good. I mean,
you kind of just will kind of slowly make your way over to wherever.
Wow.
There we go. Look at that side to side.
How's my speed looking?
Pretty good.
Unmatched.
Do we have
This is
Where's the
camera? Where's the sheer disappointment in his eyes is on.
This is actually crazy.
Now just kind of toss one, not slow, but not hard. Let him feel it. See?
Stop it?
Yep.
Yeah.
Nice.
Now fucking rip it at him.
So I can support him a little bit.
No, he's good.
He's got the rail.
He's got pads on. What's gonna happen?
That's true. Yeah, you don't have to worry about hurting yourself.
I'll get yours. Yeah, get my stick, please.
You're natural.
Wow.
You got it. You got it. You got it. There we go. Yes.
That's perfect. And then
Ready?
Yep.
Here I come. Butterfly.
Getting my legs to this stuff.
Ah! God.
Can you stand
Absolutely
from that position?
not.
Like there's
What I can do is this.
honestly one leg into the other, and you push off your edge. It gives you stability.
That's what I can do. I can do some of this.
I'm thinking you're not getting up to your feet.
No, there's no chance. All right, I'm gonna be getting a net now. Not a damn thing's getting through, not even from Nick, actual professional hockey player.
Hey, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, I'm Nick Paul. Play for the Tampa Bay Lightning. Gonna have some fun today.
Wow.
You ain't seen a demon in net like me, I'll tell you what. Check this out, I can go backwards.
We're gonna go through the level. Actually, why don't we start with this? Why don't we just let Nick rip one into the glass?
Yeah.
You just stand in goal. He's not shooting at you, just at the glass, so you can get a feel.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just go ahead and get in net.
All right, I'm getting in net.
Yep. Go ahead.
Hold on, I'm getting there. Don't touch me.
Yeah.
How
Go
many
ahead.
times do you have to push Bassie into the goal to get him?
Not many.
You're almost there.
All right.
Wait, hold on.
There's no space. You take up the whole net.
Really?
Yeah. There's no room.
Ready?
Wow. Yeah. That felt like an anime where like the samurai does attack and then like it registers 10 seconds later.
All right. So now you know what you're working up to. Why don't we start with chase and air?
The fledglings.
Yeah.
All right. So we'll do 3 here, 3 back there, and 3 you can skate up.
Yeah. So 3, and then whatever you want to do for the like you get your own shots for the third.
All right, Aaron. You can start us off.
You ready, Charlie?
All right, I'm looking good now.
All right, Charlie with 1 point. That's big. Nice. There we go. All right, 3 from closer.
I'm a brick fucking wall.
Certainly seem it like it.
Did I stop it?
That one sneak through. Wait. Can I pick up your pad? I think that. Oh, you got it. You got this. Look at that. All right. Oh. All right. I like the idea.
No.
1 for Aaron. Nice. All right. Here we go.
Pass her up.
Last one. 2.
Yeah. Oh. I almost did the Michigan, and I was like, I don't want to do that to him this early. I want to let him have it.
That was tough.
That was a good shot.
That was a good shot.
You doing all right?
Yeah.
That was huge. How you feel?
Pretty good. I think they're a little loose, so I feel like a giraffe. Like I'm constantly like rebalancing.
Oh, that shot was pretty good.
Thanks.
I mean, that wasn't the best showing for me. I should have stopped that last one for sure.
You look like you're more comfortable on your knees.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of people say that. Oh yeah.
Very good.
Oh yeah.
All right. Speaking of.
Oh, I think you got it. You got it.
I got it. I saw that one coming from a mile away.
Yeah. All right, pal.
Close. I think Chase is going to be dangerous from close range.
2 misses, 1 save. I'm not looking good.
Holy shit, that's scary.
That makes a nice sound, huh?
Yeah.
2? Yeah.
I can stop those all day long.
Oh, what a shot and a save. That was great.
That was nice.
Oh, that's in. That was in.
Did that go in? No, wait. I
You
feel
got
it.
it.
Yeah.
Very good. Very good.
is the one they taught me in Georgia.
Oh. All right, so how many did you put in?
Like, none.
No,
he put in one. He put in one.
Yeah, all right, you got one.
I got one.
That looks pretty good.
Nice work, man.
Thanks.
We're not ready.
That was a good shot. Nice save.
See if I can change words.
Nope. Oh!
Did that go in? Fuck.
Nice.
I got two.
You are killing it.
Yeah, I punch at them.
Honestly, you're doing great.
If I could have done that, I would have stopped it.
Did you score? You gotta stop this one.
I've got to stop this one.
Nice!
There it is.
Oh boy.
That was the only unpadded spot on my whole body I've just now found out.
Where?
My hand.
Oh yeah, your hand is not padded.
Yeah.
You don't really want to catch it with your...
Yep, I'm going to start doing that.
All right, Charles. So, Matt's probably going to take some slap shots. Yeah. So you got to be ready for him to come in quick, all right?
I'm ready.
All right.
Just for me to embarrass myself.
That's one.
Good block.
All right.
No, it's good.
All right.
That's my strongest spot.
Stonewalled Matt so far.
All right. I'll take slap shots. I'm not good at those.
All right.
Did you hit your hand?
Yep, that was my hand. That felt good.
All right, 100% so far. Matt's a creative guy. This is where he does his best work.
I'm very nervous with Nick here.
Did that go in?
Yep, you gotcha, you gotcha.
Fuck.
It's right by your side, just don't trip on it. Oh.
How does that go in?
It's okay, you learn from everyone.
You're right, you're right.
Yep. So let him do it again.
Well, I stopped that one.
That was pretty good.
You did better on me than you did on Danny.
That's true.
All right, now for your easiest one, I would probably say, yeah. All right, he got one through, but don't worry.
Okay, I legit could have had that. Did that go in?
Yeah, I think so.
Sure.
Oh!
Thank
that
you.
Feel good?
That felt great.
It'll be fine.
Yeah, it'll be fine.
Holy shit.
Oh, look at that. Alright, let me scoot this out. He's trying to trip me.
I should have just starfished up there for it. God
All right,
damn
Charlie,
it.
you got this one. You got this one.
Reset.
Yeah, reset.
Oh, Michigan on my ice. You've got some nerve.
Oh, you gotta let him try another Michigan.
Yeah.
Oh, no Michigan gets through on my watch.
I didn't know you could just do that. Sure.
Holy fuck. What the fuck?
Just put your hand up there. There you go. Yep.
This is crazy. I touched that one.
Ready?
Oh my god.
Oh,
We got
very
one.
good.
The fear in his eyes when that one hit the glass was amazing.
Oh, fuck.
You're 60 trade on that one.
Yeah, that was close.
Do you want a full speed shot?
Yeah, you can. As long as it doesn't kill me, yeah, I'm good.
Okay, I'll go from blue line.
All right. I think you would have had that one. Yeah.
It's a little hard. I want to go ahead.
Hey, you're getting all of them.
Hey, big thanks again to the Lightning for letting me come out here and disgrace the ice like this, and bigger thanks to Nick Paul for joining me for it. That was incredible.
Stopped a couple of my shots.
Yep. Next time I'm out here, nothing's getting through, I swear to God.
And of course, big thanks to the NHL as well for making this happen and sending us the Stadium Series.
Now get the fuck out of here. Yeah, they're really great. I'm on a losing streak in League as my elo's being terrorized by criminals left unchecked on Summoner's Rift, so I'm not really in a good mood and I'm not feeling really nice, but I took a breather, and the first thing I see on YouTube's recommended is this puppy right here from Ned Fulmer about him trying to address the backlash to his podcast. This was posted 5 days ago. I don't know why it's getting recommended now. Maybe because I made a video on the podcast like a month or two ago. I don't know how long it's been now. About how it's like one of the most awkward podcasts ever filmed. So now YouTube decided, Charles, we know you've had a bad day, but don't worry, we've got your medicine right here. It's just what the doctor ordered. A nice dog shit apology from Ned. That's not his wife in the bed, Fulmer. Joy. Can't wait.
Hello. I've heard a lot of the commentary and reactions to my podcast episode with Ariel, and I wanted to take this video to address some of them. That episode with Ariel was mostly about her story, and now in this video, I'll tell a little bit more of mine.
Did we watch the same podcast, Ned? You sure about that? Was it really mainly her story? Because it seemed like you were the one kind of guiding the whole conversation, that you were kind of steering the ship here, which is one of the major complaints. Not only was the whole thing a terrible idea from the get-go, bringing in the wife that you cheated on with one of your employees, to just kind of talk about it in front of everybody, which is just always going to be weird to hear, just being the fly on the wall for a very uncomfortable conversation like that. But the conversation also went with you in the driver's seat, which feels like the antithesis of what it should have been with letting your wife air out everything. And if it was supposed to be therapeutic for your wife, why wasn't she the one that was kind of in charge to lead this discussion? It was you. Pull off the mask of the villain here for the Scooby-Doo episode. It's Ned Fulmer. Like, it's just, you're not even, like, digesting the comments that you're supposed to be addressing.
There's a lot that we wanted to keep private, but some things I'll touch on today.
Hey, bud, I personally think all of it should have been kept private. You don't owe the internet an explanation for what's going on after your cheating. There's no reason to invite everyone inside for all the dirty laundry and everything behind the scenes. Just keep it private. I think that probably would have been the healthiest thing for all parties involved. That's just my personal opinion on the matter, but I gotta tell you, I think a lot of people shared that sentiment because this is something so personal and so devastating that putting it all out here in the public just doesn't make a whole lot of sense, especially when it seems like the main purpose of it was to launch your podcast, the fucking rock bottom podcast, whatever garbage that is, which, by the way, nobody's watching, Ned. First episode blew up because nobody could believe that you would actually bring on your ex-wife to discuss you cheating on her with one of your employees. That is just an unhinged idea.
First, I know that it was a very painful and uncomfortable conversation to watch. I know for some of you, it reopened things. For us, it felt like a necessary step to be able to move forward. We knew we would always get these sort of questions in any context online, and it felt like the only way to move forward was just to face it head on.
On a podcast that you're launching? That was really the only way? Look, man, Far be it for me to question how Ariel wants to heal and move on from this. That's entirely her decision to make. But if this was a necessary step to try and address things head on, why did it have to be on your podcast that you are launching on the back of this episode that is exploring her feelings on having her whole life devastated from your unfaithfulness? That surely is not the only way. If you wanted to address everything like head on, you know, both feet planted, getting like rough and tough with it, why not just release like a joint statement or something, perhaps, if you needed this to be a public facing thing in order to move on to, you know, clear the air of everything and rumors and whatever. It didn't need to be in an hour and a half or whatever podcast that you're starting. It just doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me, unless of course the actual motivator for it is to try and get back onto YouTube and be able to make money on the platform again. Because he is launching a product with it.
As has been reported in interviews, launching the podcast with a conversation with Ariel was Ariel's idea. She's a stakeholder in the Rock Bottom podcast and this new channel, and she wants it to be successful. So that was part of the reason why, in terms of having that conversation, we did it together rather than on any other platform.
I couldn't possibly know the inner workings of this business partnership. Haven't seen the contracts. All I can say is that feels very odd to me, because this seems like a business partnership strategy that heavily favors Ned. So I don't fully understand that, but I just really think that this is something that didn't need to be shared in this fashion.
After Discovery, I started an intensive program of therapy, group therapy, and work to really try to understand what I had done, why I had done it, and what it meant for my relationship and my life.
That's cool, man. I'm not your therapist, but I feel like the reason you did what you did is because it's something you wanted to do. In the podcast and in here too, he keeps making it seem as though he didn't know that this would be painful for his wife to be fucking one of his employees, which I think is so odd, especially the way he presents that. But he's talking about like his journey to coming to terms and realizing that what he did was bad and realizing that what he did is cheating.
All of these mental clouds that help you continue behavior that you know is hurtful, and you still do it anyways. So it let me face the truth and acknowledge in no uncertain terms that I cheated on my wife with an employee of my business, and it caused her immense pain and shattered our marriage.
Yeah, but was there ever any real uncertainty there to begin with, though, Ned? I feel like even if you had just been lobotomized, you would still be able to recognize that fucking someone that's not your wife is bad. That's textbook cheating, right? Like, this is what I'm saying. The way he presents it is weird. He makes it seem like I had to really understand this was not a good thing. This was, as they say, cheating. It's like, yeah, man, yeah. Like, okay, cool, you're getting help to get to the bottom of this, so hopefully you never do something like this again in the future, but, like, man, like, did you really need to have this huge come-to-Jesus moment that fucking a woman that's not your wife, who is also your employee, by the way, is not good, and is cheating, like, by definition? I don't know, it rubs me the wrong way the way he talks about it. Like, he was just so blind to the fact that this was a painful thing that he was doing to his wife. Like, what he was doing would make her very upset should it ever come to light. You know, it's just, you would know that. You would think, right? Like, he's sentient. I feel like anybody with a functioning frontal lobe would know that that would be very painful for your fucking partner to know and to learn. So for you to do that to them would cause them immense agony. But I guess maybe Ned didn't know that somehow.
So this was a long process that it took, approximately 2 years, and continues work even to this day at the 3-year mark. Even though we decided to separate officially 2 years in. It's something that I'm really proud of. That's really changed my life. And, you know, I understand that if a viewer is watching this for the first time.
I'll let that thought continue in just a moment there. It is so peculiar that he would say that it's something he's proud of here. He's not talking about like the actual cheating, I don't think, or anything like that. He's talking about him getting like therapy and the help that he needs to recognize that cheating is bad and get to the root cause of why he cheated. But to even say something like that in a video like this is very odd.
Or just sees this 15-second clip on TikTok, you don't understand everything that has led us to this point. And I know that it'll take time. And if you want to just judge me off of one clip of me talking about society, which obviously was not the best response to that situation, you know, you are welcome to do that. I know that people have a choice when it comes to what they watch and what they consume. And if people don't want to continue engaging with me on the internet, then that's a consequence of my actions and something that I have accepted.
Ned frames this as though the majority of the opinions people formed on him from that podcast are just off of TikTok clips or like 15 seconds out of context snippets of the larger conversation, but that's just not true. Like, sure, there probably are some people that only saw the clips, but the whole conversation is there with over 1 million views. Like, a good chunk of people saw the podcast. I think a lot of people like me couldn't finish the whole thing because of how unbelievably uncomfortable and awkward it was, but it's very understandable for them to form their opinions on you based on the fact that you cheated on your wife, betraying her trust, being unfaithful to her with one of your employees, man. Like, even just seeing some of the clips or just even knowing that, plenty of people are not going to like you for that. It has nothing to do with them only seeing these podcast clips that make you look bad. The whole podcast makes you look bad because what you did is bad. You did a really bad thing, Ned. Now he has the audacity to throw himself like a little pity party here, you know. Oh man, you know, you have a choice in what you consume, I suppose. So if you're watching these like 15-second clips, these snippets that make me look really bad, I mean, I guess that's your choice to make. I've come to terms with it. Like, as if that's the only reason people have a negative opinion of him. Even if it is just those clips, the fact of the matter is you did a bad thing and people aren't going to like you for that. Even if they've only seen clips from that podcast, everyone else who's seen the whole thing is still going to have that same opinion because you look like shit in it. It paints you in a horrible light because what you did cannot be painted in a positive light. I don't know why he tries to weasel this here statement in about like people only seeing the clips, you know, the snippets from the conversation. If only they'd hear the whole thing, go along for the whole ride. It doesn't make sense because clips or whole thing, you are still going to walk away with a bad impression of Ned regardless. It's just if you watch the longer one, you also have to like squirm in your chair because it's so unbelievably awkward to sit through. Anyway, though, most of this is him talking about like what he's done to try and grow from it, like as a person, become a better person. It's very weird because this is him bringing up his cheating again. It almost feels like he's doing it because he knows it's going to get eyes. Like, it is a very weird thing to do again to bring up him being a cheater. But, you know, it's getting some views for him and maybe that's the goal. I don't really get it. But anyway, that's really about it. Yeah. Yeah, that's right. I'm yapping about Piotr Zarek again today. The Polish CEO multimillionaire whose name sounds like a Sith Lord. Darth Piotr has spawned global outrage after this clip has just gone insano style. Pretty much anyone with eyeballs on the planet has now seen this, but just in case you've somehow missed it, I'll post the replay for you here on the Jumbotron. Piotr is the scrawny, slimy worm beast man creature that stole that hat from the hands of the child next to him. A tennis player named Majuzak was giving that hat to the kid. He is a fan of his, so he was giving him the hat after celebrating a victory, and Piotr comes in there and just fucking gets his grubby paws on it and snatches it right out of the kid's hands, and you can even hear the child say, "No, what are you doing?" Just a big mess here, disgusting behavior on display from Piotr. This act of greed earned him the ire of pretty much everyone with a soul on this planet. He just blatantly steals that hat from the kid, and then ignores the kid who is like, yelling to try and like get his attention to give it back, but it's falling on deaf ears because Piotr's already plugged his ears to it. The story does ultimately have a happy ending though, because this was so big, Majuzak heard about it and then gave that kid another hat as well as an autograph, took a picture with him, so the kid ultimately did get to meet like his favorite tennis player and all of that, and Piotr and his reputation went straight down the shitter, just as it deserved to. Now, in the midst of the chaos of this story, there were multiple statements that were given, allegedly from Piotr himself, also apparently one from his wife, and then also one from a law firm that represents him, and then another from a lawyer that represents him. All of this, turns out, was just a bunch of dirty barnacles. In the video I made covering this, I said that I highly doubted any of it was legitimate. It seems to be a common trend that whenever there is a big story like this that blows up, there are a bunch of people that scramble to post a bunch of like fake, fraudulent information in regards to it and present it as authentic in order to get like engagement and clicks to make money off of it. In this case, they were pretending to be Piotr, pretending to be a law firm, and like threatening to sue anyone that shot spitballs at him and shit, and it was all phony baloney nonsense. Today, though, he has given an actual official statement here. So now we have, straight from his filthy lips directly into my asshole, his stance on everything that unfolded. This was posted on his company's website. Due to the situation that occurred during Kamil Majuzak's match at the US Open, I would like to offer my sincere apology to the injured boy, his family, all the fans, and the player himself. Now, worth noting, this is translated. I think there is some mistranslations here. Calling the child injured, I don't know if he meant like in a metaphorical sense, like, you know, this kid was really excited to get this gift and I took it from him, thus causing like a psychological injury, or if he really thought that he ripped the hat so hard from this boy's hands that he like broke his fingers or some shit. So I do think there is a chance that there's a little confusion here with direct translations maybe not being entirely accurate. But I would like to mention something that is entirely accurate, is that hygiene is extremely important and you need to take it far more seriously, which is why you should be getting our soap, Cheeky. Our soap at usecheeky.com is the best soap you'll ever find, and right now for Labor Day we're doing a big sale where it's 20% off the entire store, baby. So go wild, now's the perfect time to get the best soap in the world. Highly moisturizing, and it smells amazing. Now back to Piotr. I made a grave mistake. In the midst of my emotions, amidst the crowd's celebration after my victory, I believed the tennis player was handing this cap to me for my sons who had previously asked for autographs. Again, I think there is wiggle room for a mistranslation. I cannot imagine he actually said amidst the crowd's celebration after my victory. After I won my tennis match, Majuzak was coming over to congratulate me with his hat. I feel like it's supposed to be after his victory, or maybe after the victory in general, or after like the conclusion of the match. I cannot imagine Piotr said after my victory. Can you just imagine that level of delusion, to be so obsessed with yourself? Well, everyone here was clearly showing up because they wanted to see Piotr in the stands. They wanted to take a glimpse of me in the spectators area. And all the tennis players, well, they're performing for my amusement, my entertainment, so really it is my victory at the end of the day. That's fucking unhinged. I cannot imagine that's what he was actually trying to express there. But anyway, this mistaken belief caused me to instinctively reach out. Today I know I did something that seemed like deliberately taking a souvenir from a child. It wasn't my intention, but that doesn't change the fact that I hurt the boy and disappointed the fans. The cap was given to the boy, and an apology to the family. I hope I have at least partially repaired the harm. I also want to make it clear neither I, my wife, nor my sons commented on this situation on social media or on any website. We did not use the services of any law firm in this regard. All alleged statements appearing online are not ours. Unsurprisingly, he's trying the confusion approach here. Oh, I misunderstood. I thought the hat was intended for these meaty claws right here. I didn't realize he was giving it to the kid next to me. Whoops, I feel so silly and so bad about the mix-up here, which I think everyone could have predicted was coming, but we have very clear video footage that shows it wasn't some innocent mix-up. He literally rips it from the kid's hands, and the kid even says, "No, what are you doing?" and even tries to get his attention multiple times, but gets ignored by Piotr. If it was some kind of honest mistake, I imagine a sensible human being would hear that and see the response from the kid and be like, "Oh, I messed up. This was meant for you. I'm sorry." And you also would imagine that if he thought the hat was made for him, why did he have to rip it from someone else's hands? Like, was he not confused on, like, the resistance? Like, why is this kid trying to take my hat? Like, surely, at some point, he would have thought about what just happened here and recognized, like, oh, this wasn't intended for me. But that's clearly not what happened. He knew this was meant for the kid. He rips it from the kid's hands. He robs the kid of that hat that Machuzak was gifting to him. And then he puts it in his bag because he was very greedy. And now that everyone's really upset and they caught him red-handed here, hand in the fucking cookie jar, he's trying this excuse of, oh, I just didn't know. And now I feel really bad about it. Man, all this egg on my face, am I right? Jeez, whoops-a-daisy. I can't imagine anyone will read that and think that he is being honest, because we can clearly see in the video the real story. So I don't think that excuse flies. He's directly addressing all of the fake statements that were popping up like weeds. And I've already seen people dismiss this as him trying to cover his own ass because the statements weren't received well. I am no Piotr fan, I think that much is clear. I'm not exactly a big enthusiast for this piece of shit. But if you read those statements with any level of, like, critical thinking skills, you should notice that there is a lot wrong with it, especially his wife's statement. His wife's statement reads like someone fucking ran the script of Food Fight through Babelfish 5 different times and then puked out some incomprehensible gobbledygook. Like, it is nearly incoherent. Like, these statements that apparently came from him and his lawyers and his wife, they are just nonsensical, and there's no evidence to suggest it actually comes from them. They are just completely unverified random comments, random posts on a random forum that people took screenshots of and circulated on Twitter and parading around like it was really from Piotr and people associated with him, with nothing to suggest that was the case. But now that he's saying, like, we never made a statement or anything, people are like, oh, you're lying. Oh, you're super lying. Now I know all of those statements from the previous days. Those are real. Those are real, and you're trying to hide that fact. It's just crazy. It's unhinged. Piotr is a piece of shit. This guy is a turbo douchebag asshole 100%. But I do believe him that they didn't make any of those statements. I'm very confident this is the first peep out of his mouth, and everyone associated with him has probably stayed very tight-lipped on it as well. Those statements, again, have no evidence to suggest they ever came from him or anyone even close to him. Just a random fucking post that people are attributing to Piotr and his wife and shit. Now, going back to his statement to finish it off, for years, my wife and I have been involved in helping children and young athletes, but this situation has shown me that one moment of inattention can undo years of work and support. This is a painful but necessary lesson in humility. Therefore, I will be even more actively involved in initiatives supporting children and young people in actions against violence and hate. I believe that only through actions can I rebuild the trust I have lost. I apologize once again to everyone I have disappointed. Sincerely, Piotr Zarek. He continues to fall on that crutch of, like, inattention is what he calls it, that he just wasn't paying enough attention. It led to all of this. But again, you can clearly see it's not inattention. He is laser focused on getting that fucking hat. It's greed, is what it is. So people can see through the dishonesty in this statement. It's not being received overly well. It feels like he saw what was happening to his business and his reputation, and in a desperate attempt to try and save it, he put out this statement. And it's fallen flat on its fucking face. Now, obviously, I don't know a lot about Piotr outside of everything that happened here. He claims that he spent years helping children and young athletes. I don't know if that's true or not, if he is like a stand-up guy in the community who for years has helped kids and young athletes. I find that a little hard to believe because someone like that would never exhibit a quality like what was displayed from this clip stealing that hat. That just doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Like, I imagine maybe, like, some neighborhood kids kicked a soccer ball over on his fence and he threw it over instead of popping it and he considered himself a saint. That's probably what he imagines helping kids and young athletes is. Not popping a ball that flies over his fence. I cannot imagine this actually being, like, a legitimately good guy who does, like, a lot of good for kids and young athletes. Because someone like that would not be stealing a hat from a child. Like, full stop. Anyway, though, this is the actual official response from Piotr, so I wanted to cover it. That's really about it. So, yeah. Well, it happened a little sooner than I expected, but I think everyone knew this was on the horizon. AI is now making actors. And the first AI actress is about to be signed by a Hollywood talent agency, it seems. Meet Tilly Norwood.
Like if a Sunday roast went to drama school and got BAFTA optimized.
But can she cry on Graham Norton?
Of course she can, and it'll be clipped, subtitled, and monetized on TikTok by lunchtime.
If that isn't the most pathetic fucking thing I have ever heard. So this is an AI-generated video to announce their AI actress Tilly Norwood. Her 5-second bursts of acting in this comedy sketch were so impressive that she is now being eyed by talent agents, according to Eline Vandervelden? I don't know who that is, but that sounds like the name of a character from a Duke Nukem game. So, at the Zurich summit, apparently there were agents, fucking falling over themselves to sign Tilly Norwood, the first AI actress.
We're all going to hell.
Got recommissioned, didn't it? 3 seasons and a podcast.
By an AI commissioner.
That's right, baby. 3 seasons and a fucking podcast. This is a certified LeBron scream if you love Tilly Norwood. Moment. Tilly to the moon. I've said it for years. She is an underrated gem. Ever since her debut in Funky Fart Blasters Volume 8 Deluxe, I've said Tilly Norwood has what it takes to make it in Hollywood. Be damned to the flesh and blood machine future. Good future. We want Tilly to be the next Scarlett Johansson or Natalie Portman. That's the aim of what we're doing. What a noble goal. Yeah, fuck working hard for something or spending a long time grinding to get somewhere. Just go ahead and make the next Scarlett Johansson or Natalie Portman with AI. People are realizing that their creativity doesn't need to be boxed in by a budget. There are no constraints creatively, and that's why AI can really be a positive. It's just about changing people's viewpoint. Well, I got a viewpoint for you. How about this, huh? What do you think of this viewpoint? That's my butt cheeks right there. I almost fell off the chair. A little wobbly. Change that. Huh? I'm so tired of this goddamn spin. Like, AI is allowing people's creative juices to overflow. The cup runneth over on creativity thanks to the power of AI. This is literally the absence of creativity. It has nothing to do with budget. If you can't afford an A-lister, there are plenty of talented actors that don't charge that kind of money. Fucking find them. There are talented people that aren't Scarlett Johansson or Natalie Portman. So if you're feeling constrained by a budget, maybe look elsewhere outside of the A-list. And if I have to hear this despicable, silly, stupid, ugly-ass excuse of it allows everyone to get creative, I'm gonna have a conniption. I'm gonna have a fucking freak out. Creativity is like air. It's free. It's all around you. The only difference is you need to learn how to be creative. So, like, if you have some ideas in your noodle floating around and you want to, like, draw them, learn how to fucking draw. If you have a story you want to tell, learn how to write. If you have an idea for a character that you want portrayed, well, learn how to cast for someone that fits that. Now, don't worry. They're addressing the elephant in the asshole here about, not too long ago, AI was seen by many in the industry as a negative and something to push away at all cost. Remember the US writer strikes? Yet today it is being embraced by an increasingly large swath of industry, partly because it offers a way around the seriously tough economic conditions that producers in particular are operating in. I like how they start this by saying not too long ago, as if this viewpoint has passed. This is still the prevalent viewpoint. People don't like everything being replaced by fucking AI slop. But I will say I appreciate their honesty, the going full mask off there about the whole goal of it, to just save money on the bottom line and nothing else, to cut corners and save cash. They just right in your face say that. So I at least appreciate they didn't try and like sugarcoat it or anything there. It's the whole purpose behind it is because it saves the top of the food chain a lot of money. Oh yeah, this next section's super fun. It's a little sneak peek of what I imagine the Hollywood writing process is going to look like for all the big budget blockbusters in the next couple of years, because you can save a lot of money on like writers because you can just have ChatGPT be your writing partner, I guess. She describes it as sort of a writing partner. It would come back to me with ideas and I would be an exec producer effectively. We worked together. I then got feedback from lots of people and we adapted constantly. There were so many iterations. I mean, it took a long time, I'm not gonna lie. And it's also about performance, right? Because every one of these characters will say the lines differently and you need to instruct them differently. If this comedy sketch is anything to go off of, boy howdy is the future bright for blockbuster productions. High quality material being shit out here, no doubt. I hate that they're trying to coin a new term here, by the way, AI directing. At first the line was pronounced as, "But can she cry on Graham Norton?" with the wrong emphasis, and we needed the voice to be more doubtful, so you're really trying to find the words to describe the emotion. It's like instructing an actor, really, and for me it was very much about getting the right performance out of the AI actors, because if they say it in a wooden way, it wouldn't have worked at all. It is so pathetic how many terms people desperately try and put onto just using AI, like prompt engineer and now AI directing. Holy shit, it's so cringe. As you can imagine, with normal people that aren't brainwashed fucking vampire weirdos in Hollywood, this didn't go over well. So they did make a response. To those who have expressed anger over the creation of my AI character Tilly Norwood, she is not a replacement for a human being, but a creative work, a piece of art. Like many forms of art before her, she sparks conversation, and that in itself shows the power of creativity. She keeps using that word, but I don't think she knows what it means. How in the fuck is this in any way, shape, or form creativity? Like, what? What are you talking about? People got mad at you because of this, and all of a sudden it's like, thank you for being creative. Like what? Like maybe creative insults? I don't even understand, really. Just because you made people mad doesn't mean that it was, the power of creativity that had done it. I see AI not as a replacement for people, but as a new tool, a new paintbrush. Just as animation, puppetry, or CGI open fresh possibilities without taking away from live acting, AI offers another way to imagine and build stories. I'm an actor myself, and nothing, certainly not an AI character, can take away the craft or joy of human performance. Creating Tilly has been for me an act of imagination and craftsmanship, not unlike drawing a character, writing a role, or shaping a performance. If I have to hear this absurd cope one more time, I'm gonna have a conniption. This is just fundamentally no wrinkles in the brain type comparison here to say that AI is a tool like, CGI or animation. How it didn't take away from live actors, it's just an addition to. It is so far removed from that. I don't know how many times I have to teach you this lesson, old man. Like, Jesus Christ. You compare it to a paintbrush. Set a paintbrush down and then tell it what you want to be painted on that canvas. Tell me what happens. Nothing, right? Because tools cannot just do the shit on their own. You can't set a pencil down and tell it to draw James Corden fighting Goku. But I can go right now on any myriad of AI services and just type in James Corden fighting Goku and generate 1,000 images of it. I cannot do that in anything else that's not AI. It is not like animation. It is not like CGI. It just does shit for you based on whatever sentences you feed it. You are not special. You're not a fucking prompt engineer or an AI director because you changed some sentences around to generate a new video. It is not a tool. Animation, puppetry, CGI, that is a totally separate art form and expression that takes immense talent. AI doesn't. There's no training required. There's nothing. You just type in sentences. So as long as you are literate, it'll just spit out something that loosely resembles whatever you fucking cooked up in your noodle and typed on the keyboard. It is a dog shit comparison. It is the absence of creativity, and it is not a tool. It is a replacement. As you said on your own little press release for this, its goal is to save producers money because it's cheaper. They will choose an AI actor for a role over a human being because they don't need to pay the AI actor a fucking salary. You said it yourself, it is to cut cost. Holy shit. Anyway though, enough yapping about that. Tilly Norwood, she's got a bright future ahead of her, no doubt. I'm very excited to see what Hollywood agency swoops in and signs her. They're gonna have a real breakout star. Shit sucks. That's really about it. So yeah. It's so weird how every single game that comes out right now needs to have some kind of grand debate about it. Like, controversy needs to surround every game as gamers desperately try and find something to hate about every single title that comes out. And the latest argument leaving bodies in its wake has to be the dumbest I've seen so far, with people pretending to care about the absence of swimming mechanics in the new Mafia game. I'm starting to think maybe those 5G towers actually did do something to people's brains, because this shit is fried. A clip went viral on Twitter where they showed that Mafia: The Old Country doesn't have swimming. But it turns out it's also incorrect, and there is a swimming animation in the game. It's just this game doesn't use swimming. It's not an open world game in the first place, by the way, yet so many people were outraged and kept shaking their fist and planting their Dorito-crusted swamp ass all over this game's reputation, calling the developers lazy for not adding swimming. This is what's wrong with modern gaming. No swimming. They don't care about the detail. My immersion is ruined. Like, what are you, 6 years old? Your immersion? Well, you need to see the character do a fucking breaststroke in order to clap in your chair and enjoy the game? Like, what the fuck? It is not an open world game. Some of the greatest games of all time don't have swimming in there. I didn't see anyone making a big hoopla when Elden Ring didn't have swimming mechanics and water levels. People just genuinely want every game to fail and will find the most outlandish things to pretend to be upset about in regards to them. I know that was devastating to look at. What you just bore witness to was gamers 9/11. No swimming in Mafia: The Old Country. Instead, an invisible wall prevents you from frolicking in the sun and splashing around in the water. It's heartbreaking. It's horrifying, actually. I'm gonna have a conniption. Who gives a fuck? This is not an open world game. It is not a series that has ever been known for its swimming. In fact, in the entire Mafia franchise, there is one game that lets you swim in a limited capacity, and it's Mafia 3, the one everybody hates. Like, this is ridiculous to pretend that this matters to you. I don't understand. It's such a stupid thing to get up in arms about, especially because this game is doing exactly what a lot of people have been crying about wanting more of. It is a $50 game, by the way. It is not the overpriced $70 or $80 experiences now that we've been getting fucking shoveled down our throats. It is $50, meaning it is a reasonably priced AAA game, which is extremely refreshing. There's only a handful of these, like notably Expedition 33. And it is also a linear, single-player game with a huge focus on its narrative. Exactly things people have been demanding more of in the AAA space. Now this comes out and people still aren't pleased because they can't go into the deep water. They can't go live out their immersive fantasy of being a mob-associated mermaid. Like, this is stupid. Why bloat a game like this with mechanics that aren't even utilized like swimming? But here's the thing, what's even more fucking crazy. They did add swimming animations to it for the sake of immersion. It's just you can't go out into the sunset like that. You can jump into deep water and you will swim before being brought back to shore. I forgot to turn my face cam off while watching that so you can get the real-time Charles reaction to seeing this riveting piece of information surface about the swimming animation actually being present in Mafia: The Old Country. contrary to the popular belief spread around Twitter. And as with everything, it is impossible for people to admit that they were wrong, so when this information hit the mainstream, people said, oh, it's even lazier than I thought. Oh, so there is swimming animations, but it just fades to black and you're back on the dock? Oh my god, this is deplorable. I will never buy another game from this company ever. The laziness is palpable. They're getting paid to do fucking nothing over there. When this is like literally the exact thing tons of other games that are beloved do. Try swimming in Arkham Knight or something. See what happens. It's exactly the same. It's just, people are so desperate to find the most trivial things to harp on for a reason to hate a new game. And this isn't even a game I have any interest in playing myself, by the way. I initially thought it'd be fun to play through, but then when I watched some other streamers play it, it didn't really seem like I'd be overly invested in it. But now, out of pure spite for this controversy, I feel like diving in. It's just so infuriating. Because, I mean, like I said, this game does a lot of things that people have been begging for in the space for a while. Reasonably priced, story-driven, single-player. Like, it is people have been hoping for more of those, and now it's here, and it's still not good enough because the swimming wasn't up to their standards. It's just craziness. I find it hard to believe that these are real people. I just have a hard time coming to terms with losers like this actually existing. It's such a meaningless argument to have. Because even if let's say this game did have swimming, there would equally be a chance that it would have been controversial to have swimming because people would say, you can swim in Mafia the Old Country, yet they never use it in the game. What a waste of development time. What a waste of budget. Why even hire people to work on swimming in a game that doesn't use it? Bloat. Like, it could have easily swung the other way too if they did have swimming. Like, I've seen that complaint plenty of times from games that offer a ton of mechanics, many of which don't even get utilized. People say it was a waste of time, a waste of resources and money. So, you can't really win. Like, the absence of swimming here is like the most useless shit ever, because in so many games, like I mentioned, you can't swim. It's not like this is exclusive to just this, and it's not exclusive to just modern games either. Go back 10 years, 20 years, whatever. Some of the best games ever made do not have swimming in them. Like, it is just an immutable fact. If a game doesn't require swimming, if it doesn't necessitate having swimming mechanics, why bother putting them in there? It doesn't even do anything for immersion anyway. The only place where you could have swimming and not really need a focus on it would be in like an open world game, which this is not. It is a story-driven, linear, single-player game. So why the fuck would you even bother wasting the time putting it there to begin with? It's just so brain dead. Now, I have been someone that's been pretty vocal about how modern games don't do a lot of the small stuff that older games used to. The best example of this is Left 4 Dead versus Back 4 Blood. Left 4 Dead spent a ton of time crafting really immersive gore elements that really breathed a lot of life into the game. It was extremely impressive and it looked amazing. Back 4 Blood, a much more recent game, like a decade after Left 4 Dead almost, didn't have anything near that level. And it's not just this example, like there are just so many modern games that don't do what a lot of the earlier games did when it comes to like destructible environments or like small things built in the game. Even just super simple stuff like having a plethora of animations that could possibly play depending on where you shoot an enemy or something. Nowadays, instead of spending all of that time and money on those like small elements, they'll focus more on like the big ticket stuff, the big picture things, as opposed to like these really small handcrafted details that used to be more prominent in earlier games. And that is an art that I miss. I wish there was more of it, but this is not an example of that. This is not like a modernized, lazy dev cutting corners type situation. This is literally a game that doesn't use swimming, doesn't need swimming, not having swimming, yet they do still have an animation for it should you choose to jump into the water. So, like, they did actually care about the immersion and detail to at least put in a swimming animation that'll play briefly before getting out of the water. Like, I think they did everything correctly when it comes to that. Anyway, I'll stop yapping about it. This shit is cringe. It was a stupid argument. This should have never been controversial in the first place. It's dumb. That's really about it. So, yeah. If you would have come to me 5 months ago and told me that potentially the best movie of 2026 was going to be a horror film, I would have poked in the eyes like Captain Insano and told you to get out of my house. would have been trying to have you institutionalized for such a delusional idea. But now look at us, farting and shitting in the reality where the best movie this year really might just be the horror film I just got back from. Obsession. A lot of people have been glazing it. I'm sure you've seen a lot of the hype around it, and I know I've been very vocal and you're probably tired of hearing me whine and squeal about how exhausted I am of this marketing tactic, specifically in regards to horror films where everything has to be the scariest movie ever made. Oh, no, it's run, don't see it. No, it's too scary. You can't handle it. It's gonna be piss all over the fucking seat. Don't go see this new horror movie. It's too scary. Like with Long Legs. And I know every time I review a horror movie now, I can't help but make that mention, just always fucking shooting spitballs at Long Legs for the marketing around it. But point is, this movie had a lot of hype, and nowadays that makes me kind of skeptical, like, okay, might not be all that special. But in the case of Obsession, I think exceeds all expectations I could have had based on the early reviews, and even the trailer. The trailer looked good, but this is much better than the trailer led me to believe. I went into this kind of expecting something in the vein of Wish Upon, which is one of the fucking worst horror movies ever made. Actually an insult to cinema. Like, that right there is why you could make a strong argument that we were never meant to have this technology, because what that captured is a fucking sin. Wish Upon is a terrible film, but there is something in Wish Upon that is shared in Obsession, which is a wish for love, which overwrites a human being's free will to bend to that wish for the person who made it. It's a fun concept that is ruined in Wish Upon, but explored beautifully in Obsession. And now, after having watched this film, I feel like I can say with confidence, the best horror movies are being made by YouTubers. Raka Raka crushed it with Talk to Me, came back for the double whammy with Bring Her Back, which I thought was one of the best films of that year, and now this film, Obsession, is also a YouTuber-directed film. This comes from Curry Barker. And this is so far my favorite movie of the year. I really liked it. And I think what, elevates it, the concept is pretty simple. And like I said, it actually isn't the most unique concept ever. Making a wish for someone to fall in love. Fucking Fairly Odd Parents had something like that with Timmy and Trixie at one point. So, it's not the most unheard of concept. And you can immediately deduce where it will go, where it becomes an obsession, stalking, that kind of thing. But what really gives it that extra oomph is the performances from the main characters. So, Bear, played by Michael Johnston, and Nikki, played by Inde Navarrete. I'm sure I fucked the name up. I'm super sorry. But they both gave such a great performance. In particular, the actress who plays Nikki. Extraordinary. They are really able to sell everything in this film to you. And it does a great job of tiptoeing on the line of being, comedic at points, and also just being extremely unnerving. This movie does some great tension building. I just have zero complaints about this film. I also like that it unapologetically uses weirdness. It uses, tactical cringe, where it's self-aware of what it's doing because it's part of what's happening. He has made a wish to make the girl of his dreams fall in love with him, and now she is obsessed, but it's not her, and they make that point pretty clear that this is now basically just some kind of, demon that's piloting the body here, under the orders of the wish that he made. And so they'll occasionally have the real Nikki come through at very rare instances, and it snaps from her being all over him and in love to then just freaking out help, it's not real, it's not me, that kind of thing. The film is not afraid to be weird. It doesn't just try and rely on the normal standard horror movie cliches you've seen a bunch, though there are a few cliches sprinkled throughout. It does try and just be odd. And I really appreciate that. So very uncomfortable scenes. One scene I know popped off pretty recently where they're at a dinner and he asks, hey, that thing about your dad dying, is that real? And then she just starts going no, freaking out. I thought we were having a nice date in front of the whole restaurant. It's really uncomfortable. There's also other scenes like that where when he goes to work and she's off, she just stands there and basically goes into low power mode and just stands there smiling at the door for 8 hours, and she's pissed herself, she's shit all over the floor, covered in vomit and stuff. It does just get weird and uncomfortable and unnerving, and I think that really helps sell the unpredictability of each scene as they're building all of this tension, because you don't know if it's going to go in a comedic direction where at a party she has to do something for a drinking game and it ends with her reading a really odd passage from a book that she's working on, and everyone's all weirded out. She's completely ruined the whole vibe of the party, and then she just goes into like wacky maniacal laughter. Ah, just joking. No, I'm joking about joking. So what if I'm fucking serious? Like that kind of thing. And it's not afraid to like slow burn these scenes. This is a horror film that actually does a good job of being scary and frightening without just using like the standard like demon jump scare or something like that. Like again, there are jump scares, but at the end of the day, this is still a human being that you're watching. At no point does she like transform into some kind of like, you know, monster creature or anything like that. It's not even like very violent or gory. There is some violence and gore in there, but it very, very seldom. It really is impressive just how effective it is at making you like, I don't know, kind of tense up just by having a scene with a bunch of darkness in there and she's talking in the darkness. Like there's a lot of scenes where they're showing her where you can't even really make out her face. So then you are sitting there trying to like figure out what facial expression she's even making, and it's really effective. Like I have like no complaints about this film whatsoever. They also do a good job of making you not exactly the biggest fan of the main guy either, because what he's done is fucked up. And even after he starts to piece it together that wish that he made on basically a fucking toy turns out to be real, he kind of just like, okay, so what if it's not real? I still get to have sex with her. So he's taking advantage of this. And one of his friends is like, hey man, it really seems like you're taking advantage of her and she's going through like a psychotic episode. So like, it does a good job of like actually making you kind of root against the main character as well. Like everything this film tries to do, I think it does extremely well. I was blown away by how much I was enjoying this film. And like I said, it is self-aware. So when it is giving you like those cringe moments, being very on the nose, or giving you like really wacky over the top scenes of this, you know, like stalker type behavior and like, you know, crying like, oh, why don't you love me? That kind of thing. Or like even just something really over the top, like you cooked my cat, that kind of stuff. All of it works. All of it flows so well in this film. And I think a big part of that falls onto just how great the acting was. The performances really did complement it amazingly. Like I said, no complaints about this film. So far, it is my favorite film of the year. There are some heavy hitters coming out in the next few months, and especially towards the end of the year with the Dune 3, so I guess we'll see if it stays my favorite movie of the year, but man, this was very strong. I am so pleasantly surprised by how good this movie was. Man, I just keep reflecting on some of the scenes. I'm avoiding spoilers for the most part in this one. I'm giving you just more broad strokes about this, and I know I usually dive into spoilers, but for this one I'm going to make a special exception because I really think that this is something pretty special here. Again, and it uses a concept that I don't think is special or unique, like the wish gone wrong type thing. We've seen that explored millions of times, just not like this. And I would even go a step further and say that even some of the story beats that it hits, I've seen before in other films. It's not that unique, but it's the way that they get there and the way that they build it and the way that they shoot it, the way that they use lighting here and the way that they convey it, especially through the performance of the lead actress, is unique. Something that I think is very special to this film. It is extremely rare. I can't even really think of more than a couple of films ever that have made me feel secondhand embarrassment. And I mean that as a compliment because that's what it was going for in those scenes. It's supposed to make you uncomfortable. I do not get uncomfortable with movies or horror games or anything like that usually. It's very, very rare. But this film was able to pull that off. Like, it actually does such a good job at what it set out to do with each of its scenes, with the tension or the cringe. Like, I really am impressed. Again, so far, my favorite film of the year. I highly recommend checking it out if you like horror movies at all. Anyway, that's really about it. See ya. People keep saying The Boys has been filler, and that's how you know people are fucking dumb. There is nothing that's been filler about the episodes. They're just giving you more information on some of the characters in the show that's not filler. And every single episode progresses the overall plot. Like, all of it moves forward. I won't get into spoilers, but one of the bigger villain characters just died in the last episode. There's nothing filler about it. It is actual just brain rot attention spans right now that can't stand actually watching something longer than 60 seconds or anything somewhat slow to build up to something. Boy's been in a downward spiral. That's a separate complaint. I think this season's been its worst so far. That I agree with. But the episodes being filler, I couldn't disagree more with. They are not filler. By no stretch of the imagination are the episodes filler. It's just a bad season. Well, I wouldn't even say bad, it's just not a very good season. Agreed, it's not a well-written season, they could have done so much more. We were talking about this, like a week ago? I think The Boys was at its best when it was genuinely just normal average Joes going up against the Soups. Then it felt like an actual triumph every time they were able to pull off a big job, or even, in the very rare instances, kill a Soup, get the better of them. Now, everyone's a Soup. Everyone gets blown up all the time, and they always get away by hair on their chinny chin chin. It's just not as good. It's really just not as good. It's lost the magic of what made it so interesting. But I don't think it's bad either. Like, I don't hate it. It's just not nearly as good as it was. Kimiko deserves better. Oh, that's another one of my big complaints about this season. They have... I was going to say ruined, but maybe that's too harsh. They have really done a number on Kimiko's character. Like I said, having her speak, I think, was a natural progression to the character. They built up to it for multiple seasons and did a good job slowly, gradually getting there. But now they have her speak and all she does is talk about porn and use TikTok Zoomer words and shit. It's so upsetting. Only characters I think they did really well with are A-Train and Firecracker. I completely agree. I think they did a great job with both of those characters. And Homelander. I don't know if it's a hot take or not. I don't really know, but I think they've still done a really good job with Homelander. They built up to his current motive, I think, pretty seamlessly. Just constantly chipping away at it. I do think they kind of flipped the switch too quickly, though, at the end, just to get over the line, but overall, I think they did a good job with Homelander's character as well. Homelander feels a lot more stupid, no? Well, to be fair, every character has been a lot more stupid since Season 1. Homelander used to be a lot more crafty and actually have good plans and stuff, but it hasn't been that way in a while. I wouldn't even say that's like a Season 5 thing. They actually nerfed the intelligence of every character. This whole season has been everyone telling Homelander he's pathetic. That shit goes hard, though. I think every time they do that, it is actually pretty solid. Like, it's not... Like, I don't think that's an issue. Like, I think they've done that fine. The comics were way more edgy, worse plot, overly grotesque. Well, the comics suck, man. I tried to give the comics a shot. I did not like them. They are... I think the comics are trash. But one thing the comics did do well is some of the dialogue. Some of the dialogue with, like Stan in particular, I think they've done a great job with. In the comics. And even in the show, I'm pretty sure they translated a lot of his dialogue, like, almost verbatim as it was in the comics. And comics get fucking weird. Well, that was the whole point of them. Yeah. Don't worry, we'll have plenty to watch with the spin-offs. It's gross, man. Everything gets 1,000 spin-offs now. Can't wait for the new Stranger Things, huh? And then we got some more Boys spin-offs. Bot Rising, anyone? The new Stranger Things already came out. What? It came out last week. The animated show. Did nobody watch it? Because I haven't heard a peep about it. I had no clue. What's the name of it? Tales of 86. Nobody is talking about this. I had to, like, specifically look for people talking about it. Here's the first thing that comes up. 3 out of 10. Stranger Things Tales from 85, or... Oh, 85, not 86. A depressing, cynical retread of the original, it is a transparent attempt to preserve Stranger Things in pixels rather than amber, allowing Netflix to keep capitalizing on the phenomenon long after its original faces have moved on to other projects. Is this actually just doing it, this show, 1-to-1 in animated form now? It's not its own thing? It's a prequel. Oh, okay. I was gonna say... There's a theory it uses scenes from the cancelled Stranger Things Telltale game. That's a cool theory. What IP has had the most spin-offs? Probably Final Fantasy, would be my guess. Maybe Star Wars, actually. Star Wars might beat it. Which IP has the worst spin-offs? Star Wars. Comfortably, I'd say. Have you heard Black Clover ended? I did! People actually like the ending, which is pretty rare. That's exciting. I'm hoping they'll get it all animated pretty soon. That scare you? Well, You scare me with your lack of hygiene. It's time to fix that. Get some Cheeky soap. Use Cheeky.com. We've made the perfect soap. You should not use anything that's not Cheeky. I'm looking out for you. You see the clip of Wubby hurting his neck really badly doing the 6-7 challenge? Really badly? I fucking doubt it. Did I miss it?
6 7s at once. I begged my chat to not do it. What I didn't realize while doing it, every muscle began to tense and contract. See, right now, I don't realize it. It's like about to have that spasm that's gonna f everything up. This is my Interstellar moment. No! I shouldn't yell, but no! Don't let him 6-7! Okay, and then I think this is where I come back and go, wait a minute, I think my neck is f***ed up.
He's wearing the same shirt. Oh no, he's not wearing the same shirt. It looked like the same shirt. I was like, holy shit, this guy just didn't change his shirt for fucking 48 hours.
Actually, I think I hurt my neck. Oh my god, I wish I could go back in time.
It doesn't really seem like a big injury. I think it's just he was tensed up and then moved a little too much. I don't even think it's a pulled muscle. I think it's just sore. He's fine. He got his big boy pants on. He was wearing a heating pad around his neck the past couple of streams. Did he really? You saw some dude traded in 96 PSA graded Pokemon cards at GameStop and only got 6K in store credit. I'm surprised he got that much. But no, I didn't see that. You've got to be the biggest fucking fake fan to be trading in your PSA slabs to GameStop. What a tourist. You gotta be real dumb to be doing that. And you also gotta be real dumb to be grading with PSA. I hate PSA, man. I do not understand why anyone still uses them. They destroyed my $2,000 Pikachu. GameStop did or PSA? Probably PSA. They've been making a habit out of doing that. Yeah, PSA. Sounds right. Is Tag the go-to now? I think Tag's got its own set of problems, with consistency in particular. But they're the only ones that I would ever actually consider using. Because you take the human element out, where you have someone who's just got a bad day, or you have someone that's motivated by ulterior motives, such as keeping the population low on 10s, or trying to undergrade in order to potentially upgrade later so that way they can make more on the back end. You take that element out, and you take the guesswork out on why things get graded the way they do. I think Tag's got the best idea. Because they tell you why it got the grade it got. It has a score. It shows you everything on the measurements, any dings, that kind of thing. They give you the scans. So you don't have to just guess. It's not up for just interpretation. That is the way grading should be. It's closest it can get to objective is through that service. Compared to the rest right now, that is. Because otherwise you're just relying on just some random fucking guy whose mood is entirely... Your grade is based entirely on that guy's mood. And you never know why your card gets the grade that it does. They don't tell you. And I also will say one other thing. I saw this the other night. Since Tag's slabs are transparent, you actually get some really cool flexibility, so check this out. Apparently what a lot of Tag graders are doing is they're doing something called extended art on their slabs for like their favorite pulls. And it looks really, really good. So I do think Tag has the best slabs in the game. They're apparently very fragile, but the transparency looks nice. You get to do a lot more with it. It looks fucking cool. So out of all the grading companies so far, Tag's the only one that I'm even somewhat positive on. But even they have their own host of problems. Ace been doing that for some time, I thought. The fuck is Ace? It looks like with Ace, they do special art on the this part. The actual cert part. But not the whole slab. I slid the brown note in there, so if you've caked your trousers, you're welcome. Welcome to the funeral for Destiny 2. It has just been announced by Bungie that active development is coming to a close, which means we've reached the end of the journey with Destiny 2, which I know might not come as a huge shock to a large number of people. The writing was kind of on the wall over the last many months, unfortunately, but for me personally, it's still sad to see. I have always said that Destiny has had the most potential out of any FPS we've ever seen. I have collectively spent a couple thousand hours in Destiny 2 across console and PC, and some of my most memorable gaming moments in general come from doing raids with my friends in this game. It is some of the best content you can find, and we always made a tradition out of trying to day one complete the new raid in Destiny 2 when we were blessed with them. So I really did love this game, and I always kept my fingers crossed, praying, salivating that they would start to reach the potential that so many of us knew that it had in the tank. There was so much juice in here, but they left a lot of piss in the balls. Unfortunately, throughout the Destiny 2 journey, there were a ton of stumbles from Bungie with the direction of things and really lack of direction of things. And I abandoned Destiny 2 after Lightfall. My entire friend group did. Lightfall was just a dud. That was a flop. I mean, it was hard to go back to Destiny 2 after Lightfall. So I never even got to experience the final shape, which was really the climax to all of it. Even though I heard it was very good, which is nice, they kept going after the final shape, and as they continued to kind of scrape the bottom of the barrel, they kept hemorrhaging players. And if you look at the Steam charts, you can see that decline steadily happening over many months, and now it was in a state where it really was just on life support, and it was pretty clear Bungie wasn't putting like a ton of resources into trying to like revamp Destiny 2 to get players to go back to it or get new players in. So it really isn't surprising that this is happening now. So let's go through the announcement, but also I want to mention something else since I brought up Steam charts. Bungie's other game, Marathon, is actually doing worse than Destiny 2 by player numbers, by raw player numbers on the Steam charts. So it makes me wonder, how is Bungie going to stay afloat in the meantime? Because it doesn't look like Marathon has a strong enough player base to support them. Like, they're right now teetering on fucking high guard numbers. Is that enough to allow Bungie to press forward? Like, maybe, and perhaps I'm overthinking it, maybe it really will just be Sony with more infusions of cash. Maybe they're able to just still run off of everything they built with Destiny. I don't know. But to no longer have Destiny in like an active development state, it will continue to hemorrhage. And then they only have Marathon, which is starting to tread water, like dangerously fast. So what keeps them going in the meantime while they work on their next project? I guess that remains to be seen. For almost 12 years, we have had the joy and honor to explore the Destiny universe with you all. Through all the ups and downs, surprises and triumphs, building Destiny alongside our players has been a monumental privilege. While our love for Destiny 2 has not changed, it has become clear that after the final shape, we have reached the time for our shared worlds and Destiny to live beyond Destiny 2. As our focus turns toward a new beginning for Bungie, we will begin work incubating our next games. To that end, on June 9th, 2026, we will release the final live service content update for Destiny 2 to begin that new journey as a studio. Though active development may be concluding, we will ensure that Destiny 2 remains playable, just as the original Destiny is today. Many changes in this final update will aim to ensure that Destiny 2 is a welcoming place for players to return to. We're proud of Destiny 2, the places it took us, and the legacy it has created. Because of you all, our universe is vast, built on years of shared stories, adventures, and victories. From the Cosmodrome to the Pale Heart to the Lawless Frontier, we have forged lifelong memories and friendships with you all. We are incredibly grateful to everyone who made that journey with us. From the deepest part of our hearts, thank you, and we'll see you in the stars. A pretty nice send-off message, to be honest, and they're dropping a final content update to it in order to try and leave it on a high note, which I think is commendable. I also appreciate that they are going to keep it in a state where it is playable. That's extremely nice, especially when so many other games just close their doors when they're done with active development. So it's good to see them put resources into ensuring that players can always still go back to Destiny and experience it. But speaking of that, one thing you can't do in Destiny, and one thing they made a habit out of doing that I was very vocally against, is the rabid sunsetting of content. For example, you actually cannot play the original Destiny 2 campaign anymore, Red War. That's been gone for a long time. So when Destiny 2 launched, the campaign that you played, that I played when it first came out, has been inaccessible for many moons now. And there's plenty of other examples of content that has been sunset. that you can't access as a player anymore. So a lot of like the shared stories and shared experiences that are mentioned here in Destiny are already just fucking relics of the past. They're already extinct. You can only see them in YouTube videos or when you close your eyes and have a wet dream. Which is just something I've always felt is sad when it comes to Destiny 2, because there's a lot of content that you played and maybe really liked that they eventually just poof out. But the biggest, saddest part of all of it is just, again, how much potential was left on the table with Destiny 2. Like, it did have a good run. Like, it had a very strong run. It's not like this was like some underrated hidden gem no one knew about. Destiny 2 had a really strong, very loyal, very dedicated player base. But I feel like along the way, they kept stumbling. And they kept going in directions that the community didn't want. And then they have to reel it back to try and win them over again. So it always became this like tug of war, this push and pull where, you know, you take 2 steps forward, 3 steps back, and then you take 2 steps forward and then 3 steps back again. But there was always that hope that they would finally start to learn these lessons and be able to deliver on what Destiny 2 could offer. Because there was always glimpses of it. There was some incredible content, amazing raids, amazing ideas. But then it would always be bogged down by the next thing they do that goes in the wrong direction. Like, there was just so much there, and it is sad to see that it won't be realized now with its final content update rolling out soon. But they are saying that they're currently working on their next projects, and maybe that's Destiny 3. I think that'd be extremely hype if it was, taking everything they've learned from Destiny and Destiny 2 and just blowing our ass out with Destiny 3. And that's not delusional hopium from hitting the crack pipe or anything. Like, to me, that feels realistic and feels like something that's kind of a no-brainer. Destiny is a juggernaut of a franchise. This had more staying power than 99% of games. They've made unfathomable amounts of money through Destiny, no doubt in my mind. But just through so much mismanagement over the years and being aimless numerous times, especially after the final shape apparently, which again, I'd already checked out after Lightfall because that was just so much of a blunder. But the point is, it wasn't because of lack of interest in Destiny, it was just they were making bad decisions with it and really kind of backed themselves into a corner with the final shape apparently. So I think Destiny 3 could very much be on the menu for something they serve up next. I feel like it should be. Because again, there is still so much potential there that they never fully tapped into and realized and really delivered upon. Again, there were only ever those like moments of them like starting to find their flow state, but they never stuck with it and stayed there. Like, there is nothing that is even like Destiny. There's not an alternative. Like, the Guardians here aren't going to go flock to another game now that's just like a Destiny replacement because there isn't one. You can't find a Destiny 2 game that isn't just Destiny 2. It doesn't really exist. So to me, it makes sense to do a Destiny 3 because there is still very clearly a ton of players and a ton of demand for it. And you would now have a clean slate to do it right, with every lesson that has been learned over this decade and some change, however long it's been now, 12 years, you could really nail it this time. Well, hopefully, I don't know. That might be hopium speaking there. But actually making a Destiny 3, to me, just feels like the natural next step for Bungie. But I guess we'll see. Anyway, just wanted to yap about it a bit. That's it. Yep. Ever since I found K, food hasn't tasted quite the same. I'm always thinking, yeah, this food's good, but what if Kay made it? Meanwhile, Kay's over here making a fucking pipe bomb in her bowl here. It's looking like the beginnings of a pizza to some extent. Maybe not in shape, but in spirit. When did she put the mincemeat on it?
Right.
You've got this, Kay. A delicate hand, like a surgeon. There it is. Expertly done. Nearly covered the whole thing. So again, I've never had a calzone. How we looking, calzone experts? Does this look about right so far? Something in my heart tells me it's probably not supposed to look like this, but again, I'm inexperienced. You know, that doesn't look horrible. A bit misshapen. Looks like a giant's foreskin after it's been cut off, but
they look a lot better.
it's just bread and sauce. So
Mincemeat.
Yeah.
yeah,
Mincemeat.
the classics, Kay. Fuck yeah.
Everything.
Man, there's more action with that butter moving across the pan than there was in the entirety of Death Stranding. Just watching that shit race around as it melts is more fun. Get that mincemeat all wet.
As you can see, it's still pink in the middle.
A little bit, Kay. It's almost done though.
Get it up on my little...
God, it's gonna form like a Pangea. It's all gonna come together in the middle as one giant continent. What the fuck happened in the middle? Was there a fight? A war? How is that a Big Mac? It's bread with butter and a giant slab of unseasoned meat. It's just a mincemeat sandwich with no flavor. Oh, and this time she downgrades from hamburger buns to toast, so we might as well check it out. That meat looks like kibble. Well, I assure you, it'll taste far worse than kibble by the time Kay's done with it. It's weird with Kay. She treats mincemeat as if it can't exist without being dunked in egg. Very rarely do you have one without the other.
That's too much.
Yeah, it does look a little like kitty litter, I guess.
Right, I'm going to try and turn them over.
Wow. That just looks like a festering infection now.
Oh.
It's not too late, Kay. It's still mostly together.
Over now, but
Oh, God. It's looking like a dream, Kay.
Right, because...
Oh, God. Kay, it's burning. Save it. What, did she buy this from McDonald's? Damn, that looks just like a Big Mac. She cheated. Off camera, she went and got one from the store. Don't make your son eat this one, Kay.
I'm going to put the bread on.
Have mercy. We're in luck. Oh, God.
I've put 2 more burgers in.
Is that a burger or a set of hash browns?
Let's...
I would never eat something like this. I'm way too concerned about, like, health violations.
Oh, it's fell off.
It's like biological terrorism. We are 4 for 4 on mincemeat recipes right now. I honestly don't know. With her cuts, I don't know why she doesn't just drop the whole fucking onion in. It's about the same size.
Ow!
Your fingers are far too precious. You need to be wearing mitts at all times. You're like Doctor Strange with those hands. If you lose them, the world is a worse place. Okay, protect those hands at all cost. You know, I've had a few lasagnas in my day, but this would certainly be a first if I was served this somewhere when I ordered lasagna. Where are the noodles? What, you don't see them? They're onion noodles. She's so much better than Chef Boyardee, man. I wish they'd start packaging her meals. I don't know about you guys, but this is looking nice to me.
I'm going to break some eggs.
I do love eating birdseed right out of the cage. Can we moisturize that a bit, Kay? It seems a bit dry. Eating those rocks would be like burying your head in the beach. She made burnt, toasted garlic rice granola, basically, yeah. This should be on the dessert menu of every restaurant. It looks more like mashed potatoes than rice, but damn it, it's improvement. What kind of rice does she buy? Does she just go to the pet store and just grab what looks like rice? Because that's the same rice she made last time that looked like kitty litter. She would be fired from the Krusty Krab instantly with this cutting technique. Damn it, Kay.
I think that's fine enough.
Yeah, it's pretty close. Microscopic pieces. You've done a great job. It's like a powder now.
Add quite a bit of...
Is that ketchup?
Barbecue sauce.
Oh, that's a lot of barbecue sauce. What happened? Is this barbecue sauce with garlic? Store-bought barbecue sauce that you added cloves of garlic to?
She says
is that the whole meal?
Blob here is what she said is a Korean meal.
Do we have any Koreans in the chat that can confirm?
Meal.
What's the verdict, Lee? Can you taste the K-pop? You're chewing on garlic right now. How does that feel? I bet it tastes great. Man, those vampires are gonna fucking hate you.
I was told what to do by a Korean Korean, I don't know how you say it, but anyway, I was told by a lady how to do it, because when I said to her,
I think you got it right the first 3 times.
I'm going to chop the...
Strike one.
Should be fake.
Carrot wanted so badly just to get the fuck away from Kay. It chose suicide. Fucking jumping off it. Did she pick it up and put it in this dish? I wasn't paying attention. Whatever, the fucking dust on the ground adds flavor. Probiotics. I could hardly think of a more inefficient cutting technique other than cutting towards yourself. Both thumbs. That can't be, you know, professional culinary work there. Honestly, I'm surprised she's not treating that knife like a fucking wiggle saw, or whatever they call it. They're like the 2-armed one that you go like this on. I don't know what I'm no professional timber sportsman, but whatever that saw is called.
I think that might...
Just use it like that. Make it like a traffic cone of lettuce.
Oops.
Okay, there's like 50 yards worth of real estate there, and you still somehow managed to miss the plate.
Before you ask, I have washed the rice.
Come on, Kay, at least make it
I
presentable.
know I keep saying I have, and rice.
Oh my god. That poor broccoli has been tortured. God, it looks like James Bond Casino Royale when he was getting his nuts fucking slapped on by Mads Mikkelsen. Oh.
That is a Korean meal. And if you don't believe me, ask Google.
Who?
Give me a big old...
Again, I can't speak for Koreans here, but something in my bones is telling me that a Korean meal doesn't consist of unseasoned chicken slapped with 1 piece of broccoli, 4 carrots, and a little bit of rice. That's a North Korean ration meal. That's like 2 Coke cans worth of sugar out of nowhere.
Just remembered.
Is that a toilet bowl?
7.5.
What is that, a latrine?
Charlie went up.
A Johnless.
When it's all said and done, this is the most appetizing thing she's ever made, appearance-wise. Well, that didn't last long.
I'm going to take it out of it.
How do you even let something get that burnt? Does she just start cooking it and then go to sleep? We're getting there. That's a lonely egg, Kay. It needs a friend. Oh my god.
That's about...
Oh, it's the toilet bowl again. Don't use it, Kay. That's ruined many a recipe.
Right, so that's the flour in the bowl.
From the top turnbuckle.
Put the sugar, put in the jam on.
There it is. That was easy.
And now I'm going to put the jam on it. And today I'm going to be doing jammy Dodgers. Right, now first of all I'm going to put 175 grams of sugar, which
what the fuck happened? Did someone get executed in her kitchen? Oh, watch out for the fly. He's here to steal our jammy Dodgers. Last night on Stream Chat, put something on my radar that I somehow missed in regards to aliens. It's very rare that something slips through my fingertips when it comes to juicy alien details. So now, first thing in the morning, I wanted to look into it because I thought for sure I'd be coming in here, shooting it down. Oh, it's not an alien, it's actually my buddy Eric and his homemade hovercraft. Like, I thought for sure there'd be a logical explanation for what they were telling me, which is new footage has just been revealed in an official capacity in regards to a unidentified aerial phenomena that ate a Hellfire missile. Which already sounds so far-fetched, it sounds like it fit right at home in Ice Cube's new War of the Worlds movie, but, you know, I'll eat my left shoe here. That is like exactly what this footage shows.
I want to cue up a video that I've been given. And as before it starts, I'm going to describe. This was taken October 30th of 2024. This video is of an MQ-9 drone tracking an orb, or this object, off the coast of Yemen. You'll see that another MQ-9 launched a Hellfire missile. This is when it zoomed out. So you can still see it traveling.
Declassified?
So
now I've made fun of a lot of new footage that keeps surfacing, like the fucking steel soccer balls that have been spotted, you know, in Colombia, and then it's like, here's the proof, and it's a guy posing next to what looks like two colanders glued together with his nipples out. Like, that kind of stuff is so silly and so stupid, it is clearly a hoax. This, though, I don't have the same criticism of. But don't worry, I have plenty of criticism for it. This video is still pretty fishy. Granted, this is one of the more, like, authentic-seeming videos that we have, and you all know how much I want to believe, how much I want there to be irrefutable proof of aliens visiting this planet. Me and my dad argue about this 2 times a week. I love this shit. He loves this shit. I, more than anyone, want to suckle from the tit of hopium that this is aliens. But there are just too many things to overlook here that are red flags. 1, why is data on this absent, such as location, travel speed, that kind of thing that would be present on other pieces of footage? For some reason, it seems to crop out so much information that would be present on the actual raw footage of it. Also, why does it cut there? I don't understand the reason for cutting where it does. Why does it cut? Surely they would have still been following that if a Hellfire missile was just fucking fired at it and it's still going. They wouldn't have just dropped it there. If this is all legitimate and you're whistleblowing, attempting to blow the lid off of a big operation here, why would you intentionally hide some crucial data to the footage? It doesn't really check out. Also, this randomly being sent to a congressman with, I'm guessing, little oversight from other departments and other people, that also feels a bit peculiar, like it wouldn't necessarily work that way, I would think, or at least it historically hasn't. So I guess just the absence of that information, as well as like some of the odd circumstances around it, just lead it to feel a bit weird, because it should be there. Like it feels like it's deliberately cropped to not have some of that information there. Also, why were they using a Hellfire missile in the first place? Hellfire missiles, as I understand it, keep in mind, I am not an expert on Hellfire missiles by any means, but you can look this up yourself. Hellfire missiles are typically used for air-to-surface engagements. It doesn't often get used for air-to-air. So it seems like a weird choice for them to just launch the Hellfire missile at this UAP that's scooting through. And it's also equally confusing why it ricochets in the first place instead of just exploding. Because it clearly does make contact there. There's even debris you can see, fire off from it. Why did it bounce off like a fucking ping pong ball here? Let's assume that this is actual alien technology and it's got some kind of hyper advanced, incomprehensible force field or gravity distortion field around it. Like, let's say that's all like legit and alien in there. Fucking Marvin the Martian is cruising through on his new cosmic nut ship, and it just now got this Hellfire missile shot at it. I just don't understand why it wouldn't blow up once it makes that contact the way that it's supposed to. I mean, it, of course, could be like a dud. It really seems like a miracle it even hit it with a Hellfire missile in the first place, considering how seemingly small the target is. But I just don't really get the ricocheting. It feels like even if there is a force field or some kind of crazy tech around it, it still should have just like blown up once it makes that clear contact. Of course, you can make the argument that this technology is so advanced, I am shitting my pants, it disabled the rocket mid-flight and that's why it bounced off, because now it was, completely disarmed or something. Maybe. I mean, if it's alien tech, throw all logic and knowledge we have out the window, because it would be beyond our understanding, truly. But food for thought, and something that I learned about that maybe could be an explanation for this, they make inert Hellfire missiles. They're used for the sake of like training and that kind of thing. Could this be an inert Hellfire missile? It would explain the lack of explosion there. But counterpoint to my own point of bringing this up, from what I understand, most inert Hellfire missiles don't actually have the ability to be launched. Is it possible this one did? Maybe. I don't know. There's a lot of maybes here because this is so hard to know what is actually going on here. I haven't seen anything like this. Of all of like the alien ship footage I've seen, this one is the most head scratching. I'll say it.
So, Mr. Knapp, Do you have you heard about, events like this occurring? And what information might you have?
I have heard about events like this. I have heard about this event. Jeremy Corbell and I talked about it in one of our episodes a while back. We did not have the video, though. There are servers where there's a whole bank of these kind of videos that Congress has not been allowed to see, that the public hasn't been allowed to see. Occasionally, some of that stuff gets out in the wild, and it comes our way. It should be going to you. The public should be seeing this stuff. And why you're not allowed to, I don't know. But that's a Hellfire missile smacking into that UFO and just bounced right off. And it kept going.
It kept going, and it looks like the debris was taken with it.
Yeah. What the hell is that? What flies like that?
Again, I'm not going to speculate what it is, but the question is, why are we being blocked from this information?
That is something you can also see in the footage. The debris that seems to spawn after the impact does appear to get, wrapped up with the UFO. It appears to travel with it from that point forward. And the speculation is it has some kind of gravity to it that is able to attract it in, something like that. Again, if this actually is alien technology, you could just start spitballing the craziest shit ever, and it's possible because any technology that would allow visitors from the universe to come here would be so above and beyond our comprehension, we wouldn't even know what the fuck it would look like. So you could throw out anything like that as an explanation, and if it is actually alien tech, yeah, it's definitely possible. I just have a hard time believing that here. I think the IR camera also makes it seem very different than how it might have actually been in real life. This could be as simple as some kind of missile interception test footage that we're seeing through IR that's been shared with the congressman under a completely false pretense. Missile interception technology is something the military actively pursues. Everybody knows that. That is real. Or maybe this moves kind of like a drone. Maybe this is a new type of drone. The fucking rubber drones, the Luffy drones out there designed to ricochet rockets off of it. There are other explanations outside of aliens. And since so much data is missing here, it's hard to really know exactly what it is and also other crucial components to it. It is very interesting though.
Hellfire makes a hit, a kinetic strike on something solid. There's usually not much left of whatever it is it's hitting. It's very, very destructive. What seems to happen is that the missile is either redirected or in some case perhaps glances off the object and continues on its way.
Naturally, I had to call my dad to see if he had seen this yet, and if he hadn't, I wanted to put it on his radar so we could get the expert's opinion on it. Hey, did you see the new UAP footage, the new UFO eating the Hellfire missile?
What?
Yeah, Congressman just brought some footage of a supposed UFO that got hit with a Hellfire missile, but the missile bounced off it and it continued on its way. You haven't seen that?
No, where was that?
You're slacking. What the fuck? It was earlier.
I'm watching TV. I ain't on the computer.
Well,
I've been working on my goddamn iRacing for 2 nights. I can't get on there because I did an update and it's all fucked up. I'm probably gonna have to just quit. I can't fix it.
No. You're not gonna retire from iRacing. I'll fix it. Yeah, look it up. It was yesterday, last night.
What do I look up?
Just type in UFO Hellfire missile.
That was a hoax, though.
No, it's.
Okay.
Just
UFO. What?
UFO
dodges Hellfire missile.
Yeah. What do you think, though? You think that's aliens? You think that's real?
Listen to Mom.
They have the number received more than 750 UAP sightings between May of 23 and June of 24.
No, it's
it's bullshit.
You can't tell what it is. It's a little white dot on a screen, and you see something flying at it and something down. I mean, I don't know. Who knows?
Yeah, it's just interesting though.
It's nothing discernible. Well, it's really not even interesting. I think it's just, I don't know. It's just kind of freaking hokey, if you ask me. Whatever.
Oh, okay.
How do we even know it's a Hellfire missile? That's what they're saying. We don't know that.
That's true. That is just what they're saying. Well, you heard it here first. This did not pass the smell test for my father. I found it kind of interesting. He, however, smelled stink the stink of some baloney. So after I heard that from him, I decided to do even more digging. I watched the footage back multiple times. I was reading from other people that had analyzed it quite a bit, and I found a theory that really explains a lot of the wackiness here in the presentation, like the absence of location, telemetry, that kind of thing. They are speculating that the object in the video isn't even moving. What's moving is the drone, the MQ-9 drone. They are saying that the drone is what's moving, and they are panning to the object, so it looks like everything around it's moving, when in actuality it is stationary. It would explain the absence of, like, telemetry data here in the footage, because if that was present, you would see that the object itself isn't moving, it's the drone. So that would explain why they wouldn't want that there, if that is the case. But if that's wrong, it's easily debunkable. You could easily slap that shit down by just releasing like the uncropped version of the footage. They're also explaining why the Hellfire missile didn't detonate, because they are speculating that this object is something very small and very light. Like a balloon, which, when it comes to aliens, the weather balloon thing is as old as time. Like, that has been around for a while with the whole, like, balloon theory. But in this case, I mean, it does kind of check out. Like I said, even if it was some kind of force field on alien tech, the Hellfire would have still exploded. It still would have detonated. But it doesn't here for some reason. Whereas if it passed through something, like a balloon or something really light in the air, it would go through without blowing up. That would explain that, but what it doesn't explain is the seeming ricochet of it. Because it does seem to like aggressively ricochet off it, which the balloon theory doesn't account for. But if the object is actually stationary, it would also explain the use of the Hellfire. Hellfire is laser guided. It's hard to laser guide on something that is moving very fast in the air, which is why it's typically reserved for air to surface. If this is stationary, then it would explain how the Hellfire even hit it in the first place, because it's a fucking miracle to have even made contact at all. Like, that is a tough thing for it to do. The balloon theory, or very light object in the sky theory, would also explain the carrying on after being hit with the Hellfire. Let's assume that it is some very light object up there that's stationary, or at the very least only moving little bits with the wind. And then it gets hit by the Hellfire. Well, it kind of maintains most of its shape, but it loses altitude over time. So as it's losing altitude and looks as though it's carrying on, they stop the footage before it gets to the point where it's obvious or it like hits the ground. Like, that does also make sense in that context too. So the balloon theory has some pros and some cons. Once again, it's just more food for thought. I do still find the footage interesting, even though my dad doesn't. I'm kind of surprised I'm the one more like, surprised by it and kind of bewildered by it, but I don't know, I just find this to be one of the more compelling, more unexplainable UFO videos I've seen in recent memory. So I wanted to yap about it a little bit. That's really it. See ya.
Initiating moisture.
The first season of One Punch Man is an absolute fucking masterpiece in every department. The characters are well written, the comedy lands, the animation is beyond beautiful. Every fight scene in the first season of One Punch Man is truly outstanding, thanks to a lot of the freelancers that really worked on it and put a lot of passion and soul into it, leading to this incredible and very unique, very rare season of anime. Everything about the first season of One Punch Man is beautiful perfection. And for the respect out of the first season, I'm going to be dividing this Moist Meter in two parts. Season 1 and Season 2. Season 2 just finished. I didn't even fucking know it ended because the last episode wasn't a great send-off. And the whole season was just an unbelievable downgrade in every conceivable department that it leaves a bitter taste in my butthole. And the crazy thing about One Punch Man is the characters are so well written and the universe is so lively and fun that even though Season 2 was significantly worse than the first season in every way, it was still a good season. It was still enjoyable, which is fucking remarkable. So the difference between Season 1 and 2 comes down entirely to the studio that handled it. Season 1 had a whole bunch of freelancers work on it. They had a whole lot of new talent come in that really put their all into it to lead to such an extraordinary season. Season 2 was handed off to the fast food chain of anime called JC Staff. They do really suboptimal work, literally no passion. It's barely better than YouTube animators, And that's kind of why it's so bad. It's because the animation, if you can even call it that, half of the fucking season is just still images with a shaky cam. I swear to God, the first 2 episodes don't even have anything moving. It's just the camera with some fucking art they found on DeviantArt, fan art. It's fucking embarrassing, and it's really upsetting that Season 2 turned out the way it did. But before I get into everything wrong with Season 2, I want to talk about why you should watch Season 1 if you haven't already. Even if you fucking hate cartoons, animation, or even fun in general, you will still probably like the first season of One Punch Man. Even from a conceptual level, I think it is extraordinary. One Punch Man is about a man who is so incredibly powerful, the most powerful being that you could ever imagine in any form of media, and about his struggle to find fan. It's just so fucking fun watching them fight. Just everything about Season 1 is an absolute joy to watch, and I can't recommend the first season of One Punch Man enough. And then you transition to Season 2, and it makes you just want to puke. It's fucking disgusting how dirty they did the show. There is a clear lack of effort here. It looks like the entire studio just quickly did their homework to turn it in before class so the teacher didn't give them a bad grade, but they still got a bad grade because the homework was shit work. It's just a very clear disregard for quality. They didn't want to follow in the footsteps of the first season. They were never going to live up to the first season because of how much went into that, but they didn't even try to come close. It seems like they just went through the motion. They'd fall asleep behind the wheel and just get it done barely. It's just bad. It's really not good. Even if you're not going in there trying to nitpick, taking notes like a turbo virgin anime critiquer or something, you're going to notice how noticeably bad it is in comparison to the first season. Had the first season not been as good as it was, this would have been a lot more palatable. I don't think as many people would have cared, but they clearly showed what they could do with One Punch Man and where it could go, and then they come in here and turn it into a fucking PowerPoint presentation with almost nothing put behind it. There's also this over-reliance on CGI in Season 2, which wasn't there in the first season, and I don't think CGI in anime is all that bad. I think it can be used really well, such as in Demon Slayer. There's another modern example. But in here, the CGI looks straight out of a PlayStation 1 cutscene. They use CGI to save on cost, and it shows. It actually looks like origami strapped onto some of the characters with a lot of lights put on it. It's really dumb. Like they've completely redesigned some of the characters' looks. Genos looks fucking awful. Genos looks like an action figure I would have pulled out of a Happy Meal in the late 90s. It's just really dumb. It's upsetting because I loved the first season so much, and Season 2 has a much better storyline. I think Season 2's story, even in its shit form with JC Staff, is still better than the first season's story. I like Garo. I really like all of the new characters they introduced and everything going on, the Villain Association. All of it is really good, but JC Staff couldn't even bother to animate half this shit. In the first 2 episodes, you can immediately recognize a clear difference in the first and second season. The fights in the first 2 episodes alone in this season were actually just still images, as if a kid was holding up 2 pieces of paper with characters' faces on them and colliding them together. That's about the extent of the animation you got from the first couple of fights. And the CGI is glaringly than almost any fight in this entire season, though there were good moments such as Metal Bat vs. Garo, also Garo vs. Bang and Bomb. There were good moments, but it is just a massive letdown. JC Staff doesn't get many more projects. They have totally lost me as someone that would support their animation studio. They're not even fucking animators. They're basically deviant artists that sometimes accidentally make things move minimally. If JC Staff's name is on something, I'm just going to immediately assume the animation's going to be shit from now on, because this just left such a bad taste in my mouth. Plugging this shit into the moist meter, I'm giving 2 scores. The first season of One Punch Man is a 95%. I genuinely think that's a show that anyone, any age, and any taste can enjoy. There's something there for everyone, and it is absolutely gorgeous. Season 2, I'm giving an 80% to, and it's only because it is carried so incredibly hard by a fucking impressive story, cast of characters, writing. And also another complaint, the sound in Season 2, they basically just loop the same goddamn sounds over and over again, the same songs over and over again. So I hope you really like the soundtrack, because you're going to hear it a million times if you suffer through Season 2. In fact, bringing that into the equation, I'm lowering that shit. I'm bringing it down to a 70%, because now I just remembered how often they use it. I'm almost fucking blocked it out of my mind, but now that I'm thinking about it, it's genuinely anytime anything's on screen, you're hearing the same 4 songs repeated ad nauseum. So 70% for season 2, 95% for season 1. The show is still great, and I do think it's worth watching. But man, I hope whenever season 3 comes out, you know, if the world isn't up in flames by then, I hope it's to a good studio that makes it with actual passion and quality again. And yeah, that's about it. So yeah. Stay inside. Lock your doors. There's a maniac on the loose. And just like that scene in SpongeBob, the maniac is me. There is someone impersonating me out there right now I just learned about that cooked up a nefarious galaxy brain scheme that would put Gru to shame here. This is despicable. He dug deep into the neurons for this one, I'll tell you what. He created a fake email called moist.pr and has sent presumably hundreds of emails to every video game company, every app, it seems, and maybe just every company in general at this point. You know, sleep in fear, because you might be receiving an email from the dastardly Pinhead Larry, moist.pr. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if he sent emails to dog food companies, and what he's doing is he's asking for free product for the sake of his review. And today, one of the companies that reached out trying to confirm if this is real or if they're being played like a fiddle sent me one of the original emails that he tossed their way. Hi there, I'm Charlie. This is my request for 1 review key for Legacy Steel and Sorcery for Steam. My channel, Moist Critical Gaming Official. Thanks, then followed by a quirky little smiley face that some high schooler would be sending to someone he's trying to ask to prom. And that has been, variations of this have been sent to innumerable companies to try and get review codes for games and apps, and probably tons more things. Now, if you've got some keen peepers on you, you might be able to read between the lines here and recognize that's not my voice coming through there in the email. That's the voice of a prepubescent little criminal. It sounds like it's written by an actual 12-year-old here. Hi there, I'm Charlie. Now, first of all, it's a high-quality forge read, don't get me wrong, but there's a couple of things that kind of immediately raise red flags. Why, if this is a Moist Critical PR email, would Moist Critical be the one behind it? At that point, why wouldn't Moist Critical just be sending the emails himself instead of setting up his own PR email? The whole point of a PR thing is that it's other people handling it for whoever it is. So why in this case would the Moist Critical PR agency just be Charlie? That doesn't make a ton of sense. It smells pretty fishy, but apparently it went through proper channels for some companies and they wanted to verify the authenticity of it because they wanted to be sure that it wasn't fraudulent. And obviously it's not authentic or anything, but it does make you wonder, a little food for thought, how many companies maybe received this and then just sent over the product for free without, you know, double checking if it was real or not, because maybe this isn't something that's super common, I really don't know. But Matt had received emails like this. Hello Matt, I work on the marketing team at CGE. We got an email from moistcritical.pr requesting 3 codes for a review of our Through the Ages app. So this time he was a little more gluttonous. He was looking for 3 codes this time around, I'm guessing for him and his buddies at the lunch tables. Before sending them over, I just wanted to reach out and verify the legitimacy of the request and that it came from Charlie or someone on the team. If so, we would be more than happy to supply the codes for the game. Very, very sweet of them. And very nice of them to double check before sending it out. They're not the only company that did it, but this is just one of the emails I wanted to show an example of. This, it has been a song and dance apparently that's been going on for a little while now. Matt just told me about it today because apparently it's becoming even more common, so I'm guessing that he's found some kind of success and is continuing to do it even more aggressively now, which is pretty interesting to think about and something that I didn't even consider as a possibility. Just playing a game of pretend where you LARP as a YouTuber or something and just try and get some free shit out of it. Because most of these things happen between agencies. Like, the developers themselves aren't usually the ones distributing free codes to, you know, online content creators. It's usually whatever agency is managing that. And then usually someone representing a content creator like a streamer or something, an agency, would be the one to reach out on their behalf for a review code for them to play the game or whatever. And judging by the amount of emails Matt's received from companies concerned and questioning, is this valid? Like, is this a real thing that we just received? It does appear that there is just, this exploitation that is possible here. Obviously not the biggest deal in the world. At the end of the day, maybe this guy gets a couple of free games out of it. Well, I actually don't know. Maybe he got a ton of free shit out of it. I have no clue. I just found it to be very wild that this has been going on, I guess, for quite some time. So yeah, just as a general rule of thumb, if you ever receive an email from the Moist Critical PR agency here, you can just wipe your ass with it immediately. It's not me. If you ever receive something fishing for some free review codes claiming to be from the old House of Charles, that's not me. I don't get review codes and I don't ask for review codes. Even on like the very rare occasions where I do like a sponsored stream, like for Dying Light the Beast, for example, they do give like free copies of the game. I don't even use the free copies, I still just buy the product itself. Because even though that stream is sponsored, I still want to play the game as an actual buyer of the product, so that way when I have an opinion on it, it is still as someone who literally spent their money on it. As opposed to it being potentially a skewed perspective on the product because it was something that was given to them for free or something. But that's just a personal choice. The point I'm making here is, if you receive an email from someone claiming to be me asking for some free shit, it's probably not me. You could be pretty certain, you can bet your sweet bippy that it's not actually coming from me. Anyway, that's really about it. See ya.